All right, guys, I am joined by the legend himself, four-time national champion. I want to make sure I get this right. Four-time national champion, Jeremy Pruitt. Coach Pruitt, thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing?
And I'm doing great. How you doing?
I couldn't be better. I've been really looking forward to this. Actually, I've had the idea of having someone on and doing this sort of thing, but it actually started with one of your old assistants. I was at Alabama in last month, and I was hanging out with good old Bert Buffoni, and I was talking about the idea. I don't remember the exact conversation, but I basically said, "Hey, you know, I want to have Coach Pruitt. I want to do something with Coach Pruitt." And he goes, "Oh, you should break down a game." Or it was something like that. And I think I immediately texted you. I don't think I let like 30 seconds go by. I was like, "Oh my God, that's a genius idea, Bert." And so we had you agreed to it, and we did the podcast and everything. So we're going to be doing the Alabama Georgia National Championship game, in which you called the defense on. Game that I've studied many times. So I am really looking forward to it. So before we get started and get into the film, kind of take me through the week leading up to the game. It's college football playoffs are weird because you have this big break between the last game and the semifinal, and then a shorter break between the semifinal and the final. So you have usually a 9-10 day turnaround. What was kind of the week leading up to the game? Where were your thoughts? Where was your head at? What were you trying to really do as you're game planning through that week to stop Georgia?
Well, if you think back to that team, they had exceptional running backs. They had three or four guys that obviously play on Sundays now. So the first thing is we felt like we had to keep these guys from running the football against us. They had a freshman quarterback in Jake Fromm, who to me I thought had an outstanding year that year. As a guy that was very hard to fool. He done a nice job in his cadence. Very well versed in reading coverages and didn't make a lot of mistakes. So he was a guy that we felt like always kept them in the right place. They had good guys on the outside, and they played good defense. So we knew we wasn't going to score a lot of points. It was going to be probably a one-score game. So like anything, you got to be able to stop the run, and we felt like getting off the field on third down was going to be a big deal. And keeping them to field goals in the red area. The one thing that a lot of people don't know about this game is Minka Fitzpatrick. We didn't know that he was even going to play into the game until the pregame meal. He didn't participate all week in practice, which was going to affect our third down game plan. We play a lot with six defensive backs on third down, and with him being out of the game plan, we actually decided that week to play nickel rabbits, which would only have five defensive backs in the game. So the game plan that we actually worked for third down that whole week, we scrapped right before the game. During pregame meal, we had about a 75-play walkthrough before we went to the stadium,
Oh my
and
God.
we said, hey, we're going to do. Coach Saban said, what are we going to do on third down? I said, we'll just do what we did last week against Clemson. The players know it. We'll walk through it, and that's what we'll do. So, as you know, in our game plans, very seldom do you see us do repeat things from week to week. We pull a lot of things, off the wall there, but in this game we did. So it was interesting for sure.
That's a wild story. So you put all that time and effort in. By the way, you guys, if you've ever been on here, you guys are on Echo Patrol. I haven't done this in a while. Coach Pruitt, we have some audio issues sometime. This program, I'm still learning it. And so the audience is in charge of giving me feedback if they're getting feedback. So, but you put all this time and effort in. This is a huge game. And then you scrap it at breakfast. What was it, breakfast?
No. It's a night game, so if it's a 7:30 kickoff, hey, it's 4:30 pregame meal. So I remember I'm sitting at the table with Coach Saban and Jeff Allen, our trainer, comes by and says, "Hey, Minka's going to be cleared to play in this game." So we all kind of look at each other and say, "Okay, we got to make a decision right now. Are we going to stick with our game plan, which would mean that he would not be on the field on third down, or do we go back and do something, just do our kind of our base game plan from the week before on third down to get him on the field?" And we decided we definitely wanted him on the field.
That is amazing. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that doesn't get talked about for obvious reasons. But that's why I love stuff like this. It's just fun to just learn the stories behind. So let me ask you this: what was the original game plan for third down? What did you have dialed up that got
We were
scrapped?
going. Yeah, it was probably a little bit of stuff that you've seen in the Big 12 over the last several years. While Iowa State with a three safety look, it's something that we had did back in my days at Hoover High School. We did some of it at Florida State and in Georgia when I was working at Georgia in 14 and 15. So we had never really done much of it at Alabama, but it was something that we felt like to fool the quarterback. We were going to use three high safeties and spin around and try to hide the stress of the defense.
Now, were you more worried about, because you switched from nickel rabbits back to dime? Was it that Minka hadn't taken the snaps at doing this stuff, or there wasn't somebody that you felt was worth pulling off the field to put Minka on, or what was the exact calculation there?
Well, we had just put this plan for nickel rabbits in just for this game. This was nothing that we had worked on during spring ball, fall camp, summer, any point in time. This was, like you said, we had a 7 to 10 day window there to say, okay, what are we going to do? And this was what we came up with for our game plan, thinking we were only going to play with 5 defensive backs. We felt like this gave us the best way to have success.
Now, let me ask you this. This is something I've always wondered, because you hear the rumors and you hear, people say shit on social media all the time. But there was a story, I think it was after you left. I think it was the year after you left and you went to Tennessee when Alabama played Clemson. There were rumors, or I don't know if they were rumors or not. I think one of the coaches literally came out and said it, that they knew they were going to beat Notre Dame. So they spent all their practice time on scheming up Alabama leading up. And for the Notre Dame game, they just ran their base plays and ended up shutting them out. They were that good. How much of that, and forgive me, the window, that 3-4 week window between the SEC title game, which I don't think you guys were in that year, right? You guys was in 17. It was Georgia and Auburn.
That's right.
So you actually had an extra week off. You see Georgia beats Auburn. You're like, okay, we're gonna make it into this, and you start kind of seeing how everything's gonna play out. They have the announcement. I think that's on Sunday. Who's gonna play who? I know that you have to take on the team that you're going to play in the semifinal, and you guys played Clemson in the semifinal this year. So this was a team, and you had lost them the year before. So I'm sure this wasn't a game you were overlooking. No. But in the back of your mind, how much, you don't have to say personally, but how much maybe were other people in there taking a peek at the Georgia-Oklahoma games, because they were going to play in the other semifinal? Maybe at night when you come home and you got some downtime, or are you just like single-minded on Clemson? I mean, honestly, how much are you looking kind of just in case? Because you have that shortened window between the semifinal and the final.
Yeah, we focus strictly on Clemson. But I will say this. It's probably the only time that I can ever remember before a game. I remember coming off maybe after warm-ups or some point in time. I can't remember exactly. I think it was before the game started. That Coach Saban looked at me and said, "Georgia beat Oklahoma," which it was shocking to me that he actually knew that, because he's always so focused on the moment right there. But I believe that's right, that the game ended before we started.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, because it was the Rose Bowl. Yeah, it was the Rose Bowl that year, because I've watched that Georgia game a million times, the Georgia-Oklahoma game.
Yeah, it's one of the best games ever.
Yeah, and then you guys played at night, and that's the year you kicked the crap out of Clemson, if I remember correctly. So then they had Kelly Bryant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kelly was a quarterback, right?
I should have watched all this stuff before. I was so locked into this game. So, all right. So we're gonna get the film. We're gonna go play by play. We're not gonna skip any plays unless there is no play. But we're not gonna sit and go into a long explanation. I mean, some of the stuff early on, as if you guys have ever watched us before, you know that early on we tend to go slower because we're gonna explain a call when it first comes up. And then if we see it again, we'll kind of refer back to it. So we're going to start off. All right, let's see if we get this going, Coach. All right, that looks well framed. I think we're ready to go. Okay, so Coach, the way this works, and Coach knows this. What I'm going to do is I have the tag, so I'm going to read off everything, and then Coach will kind of take it from there. The first play is going to be Pony Gold personnel, which, if you guys aren't familiar, Alabama and crew. And when I say Alabama, I mean, for the most part, I think Georgia's changed how they do this, but you kept a lot of the same terms. I mean, this was your last game coaching in Alabama before you went to Tennessee, so you obviously brought a lot of the terminology over. But if you've never seen Bama before, they use colors for personnel. So Pony Gold would be what, if you use numbers, would be 20T or 20 with two tailbacks. So first play of the game, 1st and 10 from the -25, and the call rather is nickel flex star sting. We got a
Right.
Denton.
Yeah, so this was unusual for Georgia, but the fact that they have these really good running backs was not surprising. But we came with star sting, and for us, the star just goes to the passing strength, and he's coming. You think about it, 20 personnel, this is a lot of the top plays that you get. You see the boat motion. The Denton call that you brought up is a term that we use in our fire zones. If anybody goes over the top in motion, our hook 3 player takes him and with a Denton call, which is telling everybody to play man to man. There is no more fire zone rules. And this is a great job by the safety setting the edge and turning the ball back in and starting the game off with a tackle for a loss. Really nice job swarming the football. I like this call versus 20 personnel. I think it fits a lot of the plays that you get with the zone read stuff because you got pressure coming off the head of the slot.
Right. This is one of my favorite calls. We used to run the old TCU 5 Jam series where this guy would sling and he would spill, and these guys would play over the top and the corner would trap. But we started going and playing more fire zones as time came on, and were really influenced by you guys' star sting concept. Now, you said there's supposed to be a Denton here, and I know it's a great play, -1 yard, but being picky here, I know this was your last game, so you probably didn't do film review afterwards, but if we were in film review and it was a national championship game, is this backer, you said the hook 3 backer, so this backer is supposed to play man-to-man on this back?
He's going to take him, yes.
So he hesitates a step, but he should go. I mean, he gets there, but I'm just saying, just to clear up the picture, that's what it's supposed to look like, right?
Right. He should go. Go take him.
Okay.
Because the quarterback's reading him, right?
Mm-hmm.
They send the guy if they don't adjust, somebody don't take him, put the ball out on the perimeter right now. They got 2 for 2. He's our unblocked defender. It's just a nice job by the safety not getting blocked.
And is that Xavier McKinley? There's some total badasses on this defense. You got McKinley, you got Harrison, you got Mac Wilson.
Yeah, there's a lot of good players.
Was this your? And I know you're not supposed to have favorites and all that, but was this your best defense at Alabama when you were there?
Yeah, I don't want to compare. They were all pretty good.
Okay.
I've been very fortunate to have some really good players and good coaches around me. So
we'll say one of the best. How's that?
Sounds good.
All right. So the next call is actually one of my favorites, I guess, just because it's unique. So it's now blue personnel, which is 11. It's 2nd and 11 from the 24. The call is nickel flex Huskers. Now, for those of you who have studied Alabama's system at the time, Big Ten teams were versions of quarters, and then there would be game plan. So you've seen Illini, there's Nittany, and some other things that Georgia has done. The call for this week, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, was 6 bracket adjusted, stay Pinto, check laser. Now that's a mouthful, and there was a coaching point that if the Y was off, you would go to a 7 technique. So could we break that call down to start?
Yeah, you said 6 bracket. It was 7 bracket.
Oh, did I say 6? I'm so sorry. It's 7 bracket adjusted, stay, Pinto, check, laser.
Right. So the 7 bracket, we're telling what coverage we're going to play to the star. So we're playing bracket to the star. I think he's disguising here. On the other side, we're playing what we call CC, which is a form of bracket. Same thing. The stay call is any star man motion. Any star man motion means we're going to cover 6. And then Pinto is a tray check, 3 by 0. And then the last part of it was laser, is telling the guys what we're going to play when the star goes into the boundary versus FIB.
Okay, so breaking that down, 7 bracket, man here. The nickel's going to show, but he's going to get out here. You're going to put a bracket on number 2 with the star. Sorry, I'm calling him the nickel. The star. Right. CC is your cone. It's a bracket, so you're basically C is a cone on the X.
Right.
CC would be a bracket on 2. Now, I have heard that some people say, well, why don't you just call double bracket? And I've been told that the explanation was some of the stack adjustments were different in CC than in bracket. Is that true, or is that false?
No, that's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay. Because the thing that I always say about coaches is even if you're doing something different, like your 3 high stuff that you were going to do had make it not play, coaches are very intentional, especially that crew that was there in that year. You just don't do shit to do shit. Now, I know Coach Saban has some interesting way of naming some concepts. I've talked about that a lot over the years on the podcast because he's one of those guys. He's like 4% of people that learn through memorization, and he's one of those guys. So you bring a concept and he'll be like, well, we'll call this apples and oranges. And you're like, wait, that means nothing to anybody. What are you talking about? But when you've had 40 years of defense and you've used so many terms, you run out of like people. And this is, I don't want to pontificate. This is your deal. I'm the support player tonight. But people want to put things in families. That's all well and good, but try putting 40 years of defense in families. Like it's hard, it's hard, but I wanted to make sure there's a reason. There's always a reason if you're not going to call it double bracket, because it'd be easier to call it just double bracket, right? Double bracket. But there is a reason why it is not called that. So I wanted to make sure I got that right. Okay, so that's the first part of the call. The adjusted call means if it is 4x1 and it is 4x1, I'm going to draw here, Coach. So I'm going to repeat a little bit of what you said, but use some visuals. Let me go back to my screen.
I think I left out the 4x1 part.
Oh, okay. So that guy doesn't exist. Guy doesn't exist. The back is strong. It will go to 3 buzz. Sorry. Right. So the strong safety will come down and play strong hook on number 2. The weak safety would play here. The money would actually be over here, apexed. Your MAC is your 4 to first crosser, and your money is your weak hook. I get that right?
Right.
Okay. That is for RPO sets, so you have body presence on the stick route. And that is why you would do that in this set, correct?
That's it.
Okay. And in Georgia, and we'll see a couple clips, because this Huskers, I'm explaining this a lot, because this Huskers call is going to come up quite a bit. But you'll see some FIB motions that if they didn't have the laser check to get to 6, weak side rotation cover 3, in some of those motions, you guys would have been in a little bit of trouble. Not trouble, but not an advantage look. So there's, again, everything here is intentional. This is the national championship game. And Coach, you did the podcast. I got contacted at the last minute by a few NFL teams, and I did a bunch of work last week. So I was supposed to put it out last week. It was supposed to come out before this. My apologies to everybody. But we kind of talked about some of this on the podcast already. So a little bit will be redundant. But, a lot of these calls, and if you listen to the podcast, you'll know at the end, I always ask this question, your national championship games on the line. What do you do? Like, keep this in mind. This is for all the marbles. Like, I do game reviews all the time of just random week 5 NFL games. Like, there is so much thought and brain power. Not that you guys I know how Coach is. I know how you are. Trust, don't worry about the scoreboard, the process and all that. But at the end of the day, it's the freaking national championship game. Like, if you're going to pull out all the stops, this is when you pull out all the stops. So the amount of, to me, just thinking about doing this project, the amount of brain power in that office to put a game plan together in a game like this is just flooring. Like, the analysts you have, the GAs, the position coaches, all the way up to Coach Saban. It's just cool to be able to sit here and talk to you and go through this process. So I'm going to shut the hell up now, stop fanboying out, and we'll get back to the clip. So we got bracket down here at the bottom, bracket number 2 to the top.
Now,
go ahead.
The one thing about this call, and you said it, if you're going to put all these checks in here for one call, and we felt like, and again, this is going to be a get back on track, second long deal. We felt like this was something that we may call, 6 to 12 times during the game that could possibly be used in 2 minutes because we got nickel personnel on the field. So if you're going to put something that's got a lot of checks in, then you better be prepared to call it, or otherwise you're wasting your time.
Right. Do you remember any of the process that went into building the call? Because that's always the fascinating part to me. It's all well and good to go through what it is, but why you chose each of the pieces of this, like why you chose the bracket number 2.
Well,
things like that.
You're talking about, yeah, to the star. Just first of all, we liked our matchups on the outside. It's a long ways the furthest throw for the quarterback. We felt like doubling the number 2 guy, which for them was a really good receiver, in Terry Godwin and Miko Hardman. They both would swap in and out of there. So getting that guy doubled, and playing the CC more in this game than we probably were accustomed to was, I think their tight end was Isaac Nada, who I believe led the SEC in catches that year for a tight end. So just trying to take their better players away, plus being in position that it was either or down, to be in position with eyes on the quarterback for the run game.
How fast are you fitting this boundary safety in here if it's a run?
Well, he's not on this one because the back's to him.
Okay.
The safety that's in the fit's the field safety because the back's away. We always like to get our fit away from the back. So he's the guy that's in the fit. And you were talking about the call. You already talked about the adjusted part of it, which was these guys done a lot of 4x1 RPO zone cut, and in middle of the field it was tough to play the slant game in the RPOs. So getting to adjusted, we felt like was a good call. And then it's always, we're always going to get a lot of tray, especially playing against somebody in our family, because it's kind of an ID formation. So having the answers there, and then obviously the FIB and Starman motions.
Now, real quick, could you take us through Pinto one more time?
Well, Pinto for us was a tray check. So it's 3x0.
Nub. Yes. These guys don't exist.
Right. And in this game, if it became 4x1, we were going to go to buzz, which is our Bronco call. Mm-hmm. If it was not 4x1, we were going to play cop, which we play stump to the field, or Stubbie. I don't know exactly until I see it in this game. And on the backside where we read the back, if he's fast, the corner, it really turns into a version of cover 2 with a safety on the tight end. If he's slow, the corner has the tight end, the backer has the back, and the backside safety poaches to speed.
All right, that's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, and then we already talked about the laser. Now, one of the things I mentioned to you was I had some of the stuff. One of the notes I saw, and again, I know you guys can change this thing up to game day. I saw one of the notes that if it was Y off, you were going to play that 7 technique, and that was to stop them, because Coach loved that zone cut play where it's just going to cut off the ass of the tight end. He tries and blocks the DN down, and then it just bounces out or cuts up in there. So you were trying to play that 7 technique inside here. Let me get an end zone shot here. I know it's not happening right now, but just, he's here. Play him inside to really get that angle on that tight end. You remember discussing that and putting that together?
Yeah, absolutely. Sam Pittman and Jim Chaney, they done a phenomenal job with this team in the run game, getting, if you were in a 4-down front, getting 4 hands on the big guys. And we felt like the one place that we had to create an advantage was our defensive ends on the tight ends, because they were the singles on the 3 technique side. So we felt like being in a 7 technique, we could dig it out, and so there wouldn't be wash and get the ball bounced.
Is that why you didn't play a ton of mint this game?
Well,
Or was that just that had nothing to do with it? Because I noticed you didn't play as much as you usually did this year. If I could be
yeah,
wrong.
you know, a lot of times depends on who our personnel is. We felt like we had really good D tackles in there that played good 2 eyes and 3 techniques. Deron Payne, he was really good in there. I mean, he was good at any position really, but just hard to block. We just felt comfortable playing a little more 4 down than we did mint in this game.
Yeah, I know that you were a big fan of that stuff, and then you really took that. I felt like you took that package to the next level at Tennessee. So I was looking for it in the game, and I didn't notice as much, and I didn't know because they were so heavy on those C gap runs in 11 personnel with that zone cut play, and I know that's not exactly where you want to be. I wish it would have been cool to do this if it would have been like this year, where they played once in the regular, well, I guess it was the SEC title game, and then a couple weeks later, and to see the chess match. But I guess, I don't know. Did you play him in 16? Did you play Georgia in 16? I don't remember that. I didn't think so.
No, we didn't.
Okay. All right. So I know we're 2 plays in and a half hour, and I promise this will speed up, guys. But we need to set the foundation. Otherwise, if we don't explain what's going on, it's just, I mean, anybody can go find this game and just watch it. So, all right. So let's go to the next play. Now we got 3rd and 7, negative 28-yard line, blue personnel, one of my favorite blitzes. This is dime rabbits, odd stem, money able A, 0 trace. Now I will draw it up real quick on the back end. Okay, so what's happening is they're stemming. The ends are coming inside. The backers are going outside. The nose is working to the back. The 3 technique here is going to pop out. The 3 technique here is going to pop. This guy is going to loop inside and play to the running back. I believe this is happening. It's double trace in this call, Coach.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so both 3 eyes are going to contain, and then the dime. Now, you guys didn't necessarily do it away from the back. You did the near A gap. What was the rule there?
So it was called money, right? Money.
Yeah,
able,
money able.
Yeah. So Minka was our money. And again, this is the 3rd down call. He hadn't had any practice all week. It's something he could do in his sleep. He's the money. We call him. He's gone, and the DBs know it's money coverage. So this is one of these that, we brought Minka because he was a star in nickel. When we go dime, he's the money. So in 2 out of the first 3 plays, we brought him. He was a phenomenal blitzer just to get him going and to create a lot of one-on-ones.
Right. Now, the rule, though, is the dime is he hits the money. He hits the A gap to his side, not necessarily away from the back.
Yeah, to his side. He goes to his alignment and makes an able call to his alignment.
So he'll say able left?
Able left.
So that left. The nose knows to go right. Okay.
That's right.
I was always wondering how you did that. Okay, now, question. The trace concept, and I love this concept. Guys like Coach Belichick that try to read it on the run where he's going to go through the B gap, and if the back flares, then he'll work outside. Like, that to me is insane. I like this concept so much better. It's double trace, meaning these, and I think you already answered, but these 3s are going to pop to go here, and then this way, if the back blocks, it's a stunt, and if he flares, he can just pull it up, and you don't lose the contain. But they're doing it to both sides, right?
Right, they're doing it to both sides. So one thing about Georgia, that they would run what we call the window screen, where all the linemen, let's say all the linemen as we look at them, block to the defensive right, and then the back comes across the formation to pick up 32, and it turns into the window screen. He comes over there like he's going to block him, then bam, they give him the ball. So because of the Sony Michel and his ability in the screen game, we wanted to put both guys on him, so number 30 would not have to chase him across the formation.
That makes a ton of sense. I really love this call. They look like they were ready for it, though. I mean, in terms of like, this guy is staring at Minka. They're like looking at each other.
Well, it's a 5-0 call, and Minka's the most dangerous guy. I'm sure he's going coast to coast. He's got Minka, but we got one-on-ones, and this is actually a great throw and a awesome play by Tony Brown. I mean, great throw there. He just made an unbelievable play.
Sorry, I buried the lead here. I got so excited about the blitz, I forgot about the interception. Kashawn Hall, we will get to even front stuff. If you guys have questions, you can drop them in the chat, and we will try and answer as the game goes on. I'm not going to do a Q&A segment because the way we're going, I don't even know if we'll be able to get through all the game. So ask them as they come, and we'll try to answer without stopping. But I buried the lead here. Interception on the first drive. Great play. The DB's beat, underthrown, goes, competes, and comes up with the ball, warms his hands up. Hell of a play.
One of the better plays you'll see.
Watch this blitz one more time. Now, one thing I'm going to jump in real quick. A lot of coaches do this where they'll bring the money away from the back or to the back or whatever. You're trying to disguise too high. That's why you're trying to show a 5-0 with nobody in the box, and that's why you're doing that, right? Instead of just lining him up here and piggyback in the nose. Okay, because I've always wondered why that was. All right, so next series, you got a silver personnel, a.k.a. 12, 1st and 10, negative 22-yard line. The number one call, or not the number one call, your first call that you put in Alabama for God knows how long. Base strong 3-auto check dot mod, a.k.a. Bass check. We got so the auto call would have been active right here if they didn't motion, right? Being the jack is going to rush and when it turned into cover 6.
No, we were playing dot mod.
Oh yes, because he's in the pistol. I got you.
Yeah, it's 2 by 2. It's 2 by 2. Now it goes 3 by 1, so it makes a Ralph call, and we're going to cover 3. And this is the play that we were talking about. Huskers. They just Jim and them just run the same play, but they run it out of 12 personnel. And so you can see the issues you got right here on the RPO game. Nice concept. They got us there.
Were you treating the Y off as 2-back this game? We had a question in the chat.
Probably depending on location, because if you look at the history of what they were doing at that time offensively, more so on long yardage and third down, they were 7-man protecting. So a lot of it probably had to be with the location of the Y in his alignment to the tackle.
Okay, we got blue personnel, 11, 1st and 10, 36-yard line, nickel flex 7 bracket, going back to one of your top calls. We got slay and spacing. So we got slant arrow to the boundary, spacing to the top. There's a pick on the switch. It looked like there was a cone. So you start FIB. I'm sorry, you're always in FIB. So the star's matching to the boundary. Tight end goes to the field. Now it looks like there's a pick here at the bottom.
Right.
Is this so with 7 bracket, for those of you who don't know, if he goes out, then he is looking to 1, just like quarters. Now I forgot his name, 32. He's supposed to take this back man to man, correct?
Well, we went to cut. Actually, I don't think we did go to cut, did we?
It looks like a cone on 1.
Yeah, no, he should take the back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unlucky there by them. I thought it was a good rub, as those communist offensive guys call it. All right, we got a no play here. 2nd and 15, we got another Huskers. Okay, so the tight end's going to start outside into 3 by 1, so this should be 3 buzz, correct? Right now, as of right now.
Read a buzz. Yeah.
Okay. He comes back. Check bracket. You're playing CC here at the bottom. Now, Coach, is this just a bust? Because it's
Yes.
supposed to be CC, correct?
Yeah, and Razor's going to CC like we've worked, but the defensive back signaled cut. So the corner played cut and the safety played cut. So yes, so probably um, going back, obviously ain't no probably if we have some busts, and that's on us as coaches. We probably had too much in, you know.
Right.
Hey, nothing like good old pass rush to bail you out, though, right?
Yeah, that's right, Coach. Joseph, we had a question. 11 sniffer personnel. No, they played nickel to 11. It looks like in this game, 3-4. The snap of true 3-4 that we saw was 12 personnel,
Yeah.
and then it depends on the down and distance. Now we're gonna get to this in a second. They don't do it here, so I might be going a little bit ahead. But Georgia ran the ball a lot on third down this game, but weren't going for it on fourth. They were content to just play defense. All right, so here's an interesting call that you don't see every day. Now, it checks to bingo, but you got dime rabbits on 3rd and 15, 7 box, triple Douglas. Talk to me. Everybody talks about the 7 family. They talk about Mod, Mix, Buster, or not Buster, I'm sorry. There's even some cut in there, bracket, all that good stuff. But nobody ever talks about box. Why did you like box in this game? Was it because it was 3rd and 15 and you were just trying to play bail quarters?
Yeah, I just felt like in long yardage, expect draw or screen to get eyes on the quarterback. It's a really good job here by the DBs getting matched up into their matches. Georgia comes with a shift. They're in trade formation, getting matched up. They've done a nice job here. The defensive backs did, and
Absolutely.
we're playing bingo up there.
Should he
So
be outside of 2 or because the bunch is wider, play inside?
you know what? I don't know if they possibly could have locked it and not counted it as a stack. That possibly could, it says bingo on the call, but they very well could have just said lock it.
What a great job. Watch McKin. This is McKin. No, 14. I'm sorry. I misspoke earlier. 14 was Thompson?
Yes, Deontay.
What's this? Oh. Is that your flat step? You call this the flat step teach right here where he goes sideways? Or am I confusing that?
No, it's a great job. Great play there. Flat stepped over the top. Good break.
Box versus Spilling in the chat. Yeah, against out of Mint. You guys boxed out of Mint, right? Most of the time. I know it's not a typical box. You guys cheeked it where you would hit it thick and almost 2 gap it, right? If you got like, zone slice or whatever.
Yes.
Okay. So here comes a little Mint. You got pony personnel. So we got 21 with 2 tailbacks in the game. 1st and 10. Nickel Mint 4 mod is the call. They get to train bunch. Bingo is the check. So we get another snap of bingo. They're going to run zone here for 4 yards. Backers are a little tight. Yeah.
Really nice job by the money. I think here the backers taking on the linemen and not staying blocked.
Did you play them up closer because they were in the dot? Or under center,
probably.
rather?
Yeah, probably. They're under center. They probably usually were 4.5 to 5 in Mint, but being under center, they were probably thinking they're fixing to get the duo play.
That's what I thought it was going to be at first.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw them line up like this, I was like, "Oh, here comes duo." And then I love this. This is when you know it's a national championship game. I believe that's DeAndre Swift, a running back, is the point man on the bunch.
Right.
I mean, they're really going for it here. This is when all the bullshit comes out.
Yeah, the backers definitely thought it was duo for sure. You can tell the way they're trying to take the guys off.
Okay, I'm all fucked up. That's not, pardon my French. That's Harrison, not McKinley. I keep saying McKinley. Harrison and Thompson.
Yeah, Ronnie Harrison.
All right, now here come. I call this the bullshit train, Coach. This is when, all right, what are we in series 3? A good play in one of there, and then a 3 and out. Now they're starting to hunt and peck. They come out in crimson heavy personnel, which is help me out here, 13 with a 6th lineman. I don't know this one.
Yeah, it's a bunch of big dudes.
All right, that's all you need to
No,
know.
no wide receivers.
No wide receivers, 2nd and 6. You go regular personnel on defense, 3-4, base strong, 3 auto. You move over, treating the. Did you have a term for that when you treated the guard of the center? We use knock, new offensive center.
We did. We wasn't smart enough. We just said move over.
Move over. Okay.
Yeah.
3 corner is the call. So the corner it's going to be cloud over here, right? That's so, 3 corner basically.
Yes.
Or is it to this side? Or is it to this side up here?
I think it's to the defensive right.
Okay, so to the short side. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense because you could get 2 hard fitters here. Okay, I got you. They actually run weak. They flip it out weak. Great pursuit. Great job by the line. When the ball was right here, I went, oh, shit, this one's going to hit forever. And then the pursuit, just awesome job.
Good recruiting. Good recruiting.
I mean, even the corner. Watch the corner up here, 28.
That's a nice job.
Fighting his ass off.
Yeah, good chest.
Ron Payne. This is the Hall of Fame of pile jumps right here. Damn. All right, 3rd and 5. Here comes the run, the 3rd down run train. We got dime rabbits, even Favre bird dog. Favre is a field pressure coming up and under bird dog coverage. Coach, take us through bird dog coverage real quick. I'll draw as you talk.
Yeah, so I actually think we bust this one. But anyhow, Favre is a simulator. So we're bringing 4 guys, and then we're just going to play double cut. And we're bringing guys out to cut off. They know they're cutting off 2, 3, and 4 and count from the field. And if anybody moves, you just got to count to 4. That's all you got to do. So I believe this is Favre, but I actually think on the field we called Breeze. So you're going to see the DBs are coming with Favre, but the D line is slanting with Breeze.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Yeah. So, but if I'm not mistaken, this is probably a tempo play. I may be wrong.
Let's see if we can get. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're.
Well, they shifted though, didn't they? They shifted, so it wasn't a tempo play. No. Yeah, but for some reason we had a miscommunication here. It was Favre, but the front's going like we're running Breeze.
I figured something too, because I know you'll cut from depth or cut from inside, but to get this guy cutting all the way to 2 on 3rd and 5, I figured when y'all were lined up, I was like, oh, something's up.
Right.
You can see the line slant here. They're moving left, so you got the lineman moving left, and the blitzer coming into the trash. Still 7 yards on 3rd and 5. All right, here we go. This is one of my favorites. And let me ask you something. Dot for you just means like ace, like double tight balanced, right?
Yeah.
I always get this confused because I always think dot is behind the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, it used to be, because so many people's changed our verbiage. What gets us to dot checks are these things here. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's where I got confused. Like when you said earlier when we showed the Bass check, and you're like, oh, no, this is check dot. I was like, wait, but they're in the pistol, or then I understood. Okay, so this is as a 4-down guy when I would go to Bama, or when I came and visited you, or went to Georgia. I would come upon fix, and I would get really excited because it was more of over-under stuff, which was more my wheelhouse. So this call is fix 3 duo. Take us through your fix front here. I'm going to go to the end zone.
Yeah, and we're not lined up correctly here, but fix is all we do is make the tight call to the 3-man surface. Our sound backer goes into the boundary. It's just really like old field over defense. Sam goes into the boundary. The difference is instead of setting the 3 technique to the field, we set him to the 3-man surface. If there's 2 3-man surfaces, we set him to the field. So, but for some reason right here, we're not lined up correctly. The linebackers are, but we've got um, our nose and our tackle are wrong. You've got it lined up the way it should be.
Who's over here now? So you got the Mike and the Will.
Yeah,
Where's your
Will.
I'm sorry, your Jack? Where should he be?
Our Jack and Sam go to the same side in fix. They both go to the boundary. We want the big end to the field.
Okay, so let me redraw this. So your end is correct here, right?
Yes, he's correct.
Okay, he's correct. This guy should be a 3.
That's right.
He's playing a G, right? 2I.
That's right. Yeah,
Okay, your end's gonna play or no, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. Your Jack would be a 7 technique here.
that's right.
And
the
oh,
Sam would
okay,
be,
I keep thinking you have
yeah,
2. I'm sorry, I'm all
yeah,
jacked up.
yeah.
No, definitely no pun intended there. So now it's your Mike and your Will, and then who's playing the edge over here? Is this where your strong safety is going to come down?
Yes, 3. Yeah, it's field 3. Field 3 duo.
And then he would be your flat player this way,
That's
or
right.
curl flat player. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
yeah. Because I got all excited. I saw fix, and then they're lining up a knot, and I'm like, come on, guys, give me a
yeah,
little bit to work with. So okay, I see the big hole, and then you got okay, that makes sense. So he should be in here. He should be on the line. At least the rotation's right. And Minka played in base.
he,
Minka's playing strong safety.
he is.
Okay.
Yes, in base he played strong safety, and nickel he played star, and in dime he played money.
All right. One of my other, I keep saying my favorite, my favorite, my favorite. All right. 11 personnel, blue personnel, 2nd and 5, nickel sting check. Now, I am going to try, while you explain sting check, I'm going to try and quickly find the rules for this game. See if I can find them
Yeah.
in the
So the
folder I
rules.
have.
So the rules here are easy. It's 4 open. It's money sting. All right, we're getting the money out of coverage. So 32 should be coming, and we should be coming down mud right. Uh,
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought sting check was a game plan thing. My bad on that.
no, it is.
Oh, it is?
It,
Okay.
yeah, but anytime it gets 4 open, we don't want the money in coverage, so we always bring the money.
Okay, that makes sense. Um Now, let me see here. I'm trying to find. So what are some of the other rules? Because we're going to see this quite a bit. So the basic rules, I'm trying to find them for this game
So
as we're
it could
talking.
be, yeah, if Y is on the ball, we're coming to the Y. If the Y is off, then it's star sting. Um, and then if it's 4 open, it's money sting.
Okay. And then what usually changes week to week when you're doing this?
It's all about the Y. It's about the run game and the location of the Y. So if the Y is off, lots of times, you're getting, um, slipper plays. So we like to bring the star.
Right.
And, if he's on the ball, most of the runs go to the Y. So we want to come to the Y.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, because a lot of the questions you get is, okay, well, how are you game planning this stuff? You see the final product, but the thought process is where it's just really fascinating to me.
Right.
The other thing, if I remember correctly, I didn't show up in the game, is you guys had some 7 special stuff to number 6, if I remember correctly, but you didn't end up using it. Was it one of those things like you put in the game plan and said, hey, if we're having trouble with number 6, I think that's McCole Hardman, we'll use it. If not, we'll shelve it. Do you remember anything about that?
Well, we always carry it in every game if there's somebody we need to use it on, if we're having a problem. So, yeah, I'm sure we carried it in this game.
Okay. All right, let's watch this play and let it roll out. So the money's coming, playing fire zone coverage. Weapons are fire zones with no drop, correct?
Right.
Yeah, I get confused sometimes about how it all plays together. This is just a great call. I mean, this is one of my favorites.
It's interesting. The center, Lamont Galliard, when I was at Georgia, he played D tackle for us. So I'm sure when he heard tight right, sting right, he knew that 94 was. Yeah, he was ready for it.
Well, with any of the and again, I know you don't want to give away all the secrets, but when you play these guys, do you have to change a lot of your signals or stuff, or you just say, hey, we're gonna roll with it, forget it, we're doing our thing?
I think all of us have changed signals over the years. It'd be interesting the verbiage, how much has changed as people have kind of moved away from uh, Alabama. How much have they actually changed?
Right. All right. Well, let's go to the next play then, because Sting Check's going to show up quite a bit. All right, we got a no play. So it looks like you guys jump. All right, so we get Bass to 12 personnel base. This is actually no, I'm sorry, that's wrong tag. We are 12 personnel, 1st and 10. The call is base under O, zone alert bump. You want to take us through that, Coach?
Yeah, zone alert bump. So should be closed right. Uh, so the Sam should be to the field. In zone alert bump, we're coming down to the fourth receiver. So the fourth receiver is number 2 in the slot. So it's going to be Liz Sky. So we're playing cover 6, really. The Sam's to the field, rotating away from the Sam, playing 3 deep zone.
Get stretch. I don't quite understand running stretch with to a 2-man surface out of 12 personnel, knowing that you're going to go into a base set with bigger people, but you guys make the play. We got 2nd and long. All right, 2nd and 10 rather. We switch to blue personnel 11. The call is nickel, Hornet, fire zone, kill 7 bracket. Okay, can you talk to me about Hornet and what that is?
Okay. Yeah, so Hornet is obviously has a weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hornet is Sting, but it has its rules, and like Sting check, they change each game. I think in this game, Hornet for us was just away from the Y. We were going to run open fire zone, so it started off as probably uh, Sting left, and then on the yak motion, it went to Sting right. Now I don't know that. I don't remember the Hornet rules for this game. Actually, looking at it, I see the safeties coming right here. So maybe if the Y was off, that's what it was. Excuse me. It was right the opposite of Sting check. If the Y was off, we were going to come to the Y. If the Y was on, we were going to come open. Now, the one thing about this that's interesting is you can see as the safety comes down, the quarterback checks. Well, when he checks, we kill, and we kill to 7 bracket.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to make a mistake here at linebacker. The DBs, because the guys in the C area, they call cut, and which is the correct call. But the money backer doesn't play cut; he still plays CC. That's one thing about changing worlds. You got to be careful on that side because it puts a lot on that guy.
Right.
And the ball goes right where the money backer should be.
Was that so you had this basically, was this one of those deals that you had to show it to make it work? So you killed, if they
Yeah.
saw 1 high and changed their play, that you killed a 2 high? Like, why did you kill? Was this I'm sorry, I'm kind of fumfling around with my words, but when you killed this, was this on the field, or do you remember if this was part of the call?
No, it was not part of the call. It was on the field. So you're looking at the formation. I don't know if you remember earlier in the game, they lined up in the exact same formation, run the exact same play. So it's my belief when they yak the Y and the safety comes down, the quarterback is Ringo. He's Ringo in the front to slide. I think it's a pass play, right? Just looking at it.
Right.
So I killed the 7 bracket, thinking it would get us in cut over here, which cut would have played this play really well. We just needed to do a better job to get the guy in the right spot. So if we were playing cut here and played it properly, all right, it's Mac in the cut. So the Mac pushes the money backer, and the money should go to 1, which there should be nowhere to go with the ball.
So how this should have play was the Mac would take with the back near and this guy in here would the Mac, it's Mac in the cut, so you'd have the money take 2, the Mac push to 1 in the corner, take the flat, or how would this?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Corner
Okay, so
being the
right
flat,
here, this should have been the money.
that's the Mac. That's the Mac. He's got him. That's the
Okay,
Mac.
so let
Yeah.
me ask you this, because usually in Mac in the cut, the money stays on the tight end. Would you have them switch responsibilities, almost like in Buster with the you me call, because they're
Yes,
close?
he pushed the cut. The Mac
Okay,
backer pushed the money. He pushed the cut.
got it. And that is triggered because the back is near.
Right. So, and the play, remember they ran this same play earlier. They just ran it to the other side. So we went over there going over the plays and said, hey, if we get this formation with a Y off, gun near, and you can see the back is wide, let's push the cut here. So the money, you go to 1, the Mac, now you take the tight end.
Okay. So I'm going to break this down for everybody because there is, I know in the high school coaching world, I get this question a lot. So normally, and coach, please correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see if I'm a good student. I've been listening to you now for 4 years. Let's see if I picked it up. All right, because I struggled with this at first. I'm not going to lie. In regular cut coverage, Mac in the cut means that if 3 goes fast, the push will be between the Mac and the corner in a normal world. Let's say 2 was lined up out here. He was not close. So it would be, imagine this guy's not here. This guy's number 2. So the money normally would have stayed on this with this guy coming in. The Mac would push and the corner would play. He wouldn't jump up like that. That's unfair. He would play here and then come on the back late. That's how it would normally play out, correct?
That's right.
Okay, but because you're pushing the cut, what coach is saying is the Mac is now going to take the money's normal guy. The money is going to push between now the corner. He's going to push with the corner. So with this coming back in, the money should push out here and the corner should take the back.
That's right.
Okay. That is I've talked to coaches all over for many years. And what I found is, and I could be wrong, I could just have too small of a sample size. The idea of Mac in the cut where you're pushing 3 to 1. And the reason normally is, right, this guy's a badass. You don't want to put the Mac. You don't want a linebacker on a receiver or an athletic tight end. Like at the NFL level, that guy's really a receiver, right? So
Right.
that's why you push 3 to 1. But usually in high school, you don't see that a lot because your backers can usually match up with tight ends. In fact, most of the tight ends we saw, our backers were better athletes because so many people are in like 10 personnel or they're in like 21 and that guy's an ass kicker. So that is something that I know I can speak for a lot of coaches, including myself. I struggled with that concept at first. So I wanted to make sure I covered that and got it 100% right.
This is a perfect example of it's not about what we know, it's about what our players know.
Yes.
I knew the play. I thought I got us in the right check, but it's just too much happening too fast.
Mm-hmm.
So basically we're giving them a freebie here. So this is on me.
Question unrelated to any of this. How come you guys never tagged stunts when you're tagging games?
We call them
But like in
from
the
the
film, like when you get the tags or whatever, there's never like they're never there. They're never in the stunt category. Was it just like you just didn't want to do it, or when I went to Bama and I went back and watched old games, I remember when I was at Tennessee, I'd be like, oh, I want to check out the stunts, and they were never typed in. It was just you just
they were empty. I don't know.
all
It's a
right.
good question.
I noticed that like. And because sometimes what I'll do is I'll take the PFF date and I'll move the columns around. I know my way around Thunder or whatever the hell it's called. So like I'll move some of the columns and I'll make if I make my own column set, I'll delete it. But I'll put like PFF tags with, if I'm in a place I don't know the coverages, I don't know all the names. I'm like, all right, let me find all the cover ones, and then you pull up the PFF data and it's like Y or 1 for, I think it's 1 for yes, 0 for no. But none of the stunts are filled in for the entire year. And I'm like, and I'm watching all these twists and I'm like, I didn't know if you guys just didn't do it or whatever, but Anyway, all right,
That's
back on track.
good,
All right, so we got a
good
first
question.
down. What's that, Coach?
Said good question.
All right, 1st and 10, blue personnel. They finally crossed the 50. Nickel boomer bracket check laser. We have a backer go situation. The Big 12 calls. So you're playing bracket to the field, man to the boundary. The backer is playing 7 world. If the back is to the field, he is playing man. If the back is into the boundary, it is boomer. So the boundary is going. The backer is going if it was one. It'd be the corner going if it was one receiver, correct?
That's right. Two open, the backer go.
It was like you picked all my favorite calls for this game. This is some of my favorite stuff.
Well, this is one of these deals where you see the formation that they're lined up in. We've played every time they've been in 4 open, we've been in coverage. So just a good way to get the backer going here, get him
And you're
out of
able to think
coverage.
about that fast during the game.
Yeah. I mean, just look at the formations, you see the plays, and you call it.
That's incredible because I can remember a lot of stuff. Maybe when you're in the mode and that's going, but what's
You
incredible to
can,
me was how good you were at calling plays. You know, because you were a high school defensive coordinator, made a legend with help me the name of the show is escaping me.
um, I'm, I hope it keeps escaping you. 2 a days.
2-a-days. That's when you ate
Uh,
asparagus for the first time.
that's right.
So you're a high school legend, but you hadn't called defense. You went to FSU and then you gone to Georgia. So I guess that wasn't fair. But you were so, I was going to say, for only a few years of experience, but I totally forget that you were at Georgia for some reason. I always think you just went right back to Alabama. How good of a play caller you are. It's always been something that has impressed me. Oh, like just mixing in the calls and just pulling the trigger at the right time. So speaking of which, let's talk about this double cat blitz because I know that these SEC coaches that stay in the SEC, they got a file on each other and they remember shit. And I remember hearing a story about this formation that when they would get condensed in like 2008, y'all ran a double cat pressure versus Cheney or something like that. And you guys
Uh,
busted it out. What was the story behind that?
yeah, he was at Tennessee at the time with Lane. I think 3 times that day. Kirby actually called it, and we busted them all 3 times. And it's one of those deals you just pull out when you need it. And uh, in this game, we felt like it would be a good thing. I remember setting in the game plan, and as soon as I looked at it, I'm like, hey, we need to run double cat because they were really hurting people. Running duo and then running 2-man routes and protecting. And they'd done a nice job protecting all year, but we knew we would get them on double cat.
And for those of you about to ask, the call is based on two Cora check double cat. So this was
Yeah,
a condensed check. This wasn't coach is good, but he didn't guess this one. This was tagged on.
it was tagged. It's tagged for double cat.
Let's talk through
And
double cat real quick. So you got both corners going.
yeah, both corners are going. The safeties are playing the ones deep. They're playing them deep and playing them man to man. The outside backers have the flat, and the middle linebackers got the run through.
Is this a bust, right? Is he supposed to be in here and he's supposed to be on the line? It's supposed to be a 5-2 look. What
So
let's look at
yes,
the end zone here.
right. So
Did
we
you
shouldn't
pull
have pulled
this?
it. We were gonna pull. We were gonna pull it, but we shouldn't have pulled it on double cat.
Okay,
So
yeah.
that was we were going to pull it on 3x1, but it
Uh-huh.
was condensed. It was condensed, and yeah, we shouldn't have, but hey, it worked out.
It sure as shit did. So for those of you who don't know, they have a mechanism in certain looks where instead of a 4 and a go 6 or 9 or whatever you want to call it, the outside backer. This is one of your early mint adjustments. Actually, I think it may have been before. I think it was before you came back. I think it was right when Kirby they went and visited Todd Orlando. And one of the first ways to play 3x1, I remember being the 4 I would go to a 4 or a 5, and the jack would come back and play linebacker, and you'd almost get into a 3-3 stack look with a Sam. Well, if it was men, it'd be the star, but this is awesome.
You
So
can see
you're supposed to
like,
play the flats right here. These guys are supposed to play the flats.
yes, they got the flats.
24 just says,
But
screw it. I'm
he
going.
thinks it's run.
Yeah.
And hey, but they got to take him to the flat, right? Nobody
Right.
took him to the flat. But you can look at Nick Chubb's eyes there. He knows a corner's coming,
Yeah, he can feel it.
but he can't get both of them.
So they had Chubb, Sony Michel, and DeAndre Swift.
Yes,
Damn.
and Brian Herring.
And who? I'm sorry?
Brian Herring.
Oh, that's right. Damn, that's up there with that Miami backfield. I had to throw in the U, my alma mater. When they had McGahee, Portis, Najee Davenport, and Frank Gore.
Yeah, I saw that other day.
All right. 3rd and 20, Coach. I'm sorry to play this call. I'm sorry to play this. We got blue personnel 11, 3rd and 20, dime rabbits, even 7 box triple Douglas. If you guys want a breakdown of what triple Douglas is, I'm going to tease it out. The podcast will be out in the next 48 hours. I promise you. I promise. I know I say that shit all the time. I promise it'll be out. The 3rd down run trend continues, Coach. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we had a game on this one up front, but 7 boxes, 3rd and long. Same thing I said before on 3rd and 15. Why, you asked me why I liked it. You should have 7 eyes in the back end with their eyes on the quarterback for draw or screen. And this is just a heck of a run. Great play here.
I'm sorry, Coach. Talk to me about 7 box, the corners. They're seeing the quarterback, feeling their man like old school quarters.
Yeah, it's old school quarters. We're zoning. We're playing true quarters. And once the guys get down the field, past the move areas, then we'll match them tight. But we are sorting it out, eyes on quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And Georgia did what we thought they would do, but they make a great play here.
Now, when you say old school quarters, these guys are still getting their quarters read number 2 after the ball snapped, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I just want to clarify, because a lot of people that hear old school quarters and they think I'm just playing a quarter, I'm just backing up and staring at the quarterback and I'm not reading my 2.
Yeah. If 1 and 2 cross down the field, we would pass them off. Yeah.
See, we played box was our base, but we would do it for press and bail. So we tried to control all the in-breaking routes by showing press, thinking, all right, they're not going to throw digs and shit. Or they're not going to throw, they're going to get slants and fades, and then we would bail. But so much of high school football with the wider hashes is chuck the 9 route, especially in the boundary. We would just bail the shit out of the route. So we played box was our base, but people would say old school quarters, and I'm thinking meaning like a true zone where the safeties never look at number 2. I'm like, no, we still read 2. You got a game. Is this a game here or a Jimmy? No, it is a game. So this is the ISO. What do you call this where he goes first and goes second? I always forget.
Yeah. Talking about jam game?
Yeah, jam game. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a whole different naming system. Nice run.
Yeah. That's a great run.
Sorry, Coach. You won the game, so I chalk that up to any of the tough plays at the end of the day. You got your ring, by the way, close by? I was going to ask you to show it at the end.
No, I don't have it.
Where's it at? Right, you got it locked away. So we're safe, I hope.
I got it. Not with me.
Oh, okay. All right. We got base strong 3 auto. We had gray personnel, which is 13. 1st and 10. Base strong 3 auto check dot mod. We have a mod check here. Negative 1 yard gain. They try to run verts. Now, they send the tight end up the seam.
Yeah.
Is this safety should have 2, right, in mod?
No, they're going to cover 3. It should go to a Ralph call. Shouldn't be mod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because the tight end's in here? Because it's still 2 by 2. So
because it's not a slot formation.
Okay.
I mean, they're treating it as a slot formation.
Got it. That makes sense. Okay. Oh, I gotcha. So you got tight end wing and then here. Right. So it should be coming down, coming back, and then he should match
Right.
too. Okay.
Yes, and I think they cornered it up top. So
They get it late.
yeah, they get there. They just get it late.
Great job. Second 11, nickel mint 4 mod. We're going to get a tray check to mini with poach. Let's talk through the zone cut fit, coach, out of tray. We'll go to the end zone. I'll show the sideline, and then we'll go straight to the end zone. So right here, you've got the jack. You have, I
Yes,
believe, the corner.
right.
This
Yeah,
is
it's
where
the
the free
corner.
safety has the A gap, because this is mini with poach.
Yeah, well, on this one, if you looked at it the way we've got it here, 94 is going to end up in the backside A. The 49 should be in the B. We made a hard call over here with our corner 39. So he's telling the backer hard means it's backer force. Now he's got the C gap. At 32, it's got front side A to fall back, and then the ball kicks out to the overhang. So 15, because the back's to him, he's really not even in the fit.
Ah. But he has no coverage responsibility until late, because it's mini, which is, for those of you who don't know, is stump or stubby versus or out of mint, sorry. So he doesn't have number 3. He's poaching, but really he'd be late on any sort of double over routes, right? He's really got no responsibility.
Yeah, he's extra. You can see where he's lined up. He's right there. See him right there.
Mm-hmm. Now he's to the back, but because it's nub, he's still out of the fit technically.
Yeah, no, we just taught him the same way. Still out of the fit.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. With the hard call, if they ran some RPO like this, which maybe wouldn't be the best call, but the corner would go out and he would come down, or the corner would fit and the safety would take the Y?
No, the corner would take him. The corner would take him, and now the jack would just be the C gap fitter.
Got it. Okay, makes sense. All right, coach. 3rd and 11. We get another third down run. Now going in.
Not
Dime
only third down,
rabbits.
they're in tub.
Yeah, even they're in unbalance.
Yeah.
I honestly, when I did the game, I thought I got the down and distance wrong. I'm like, well, maybe I screwed up. And then I went to the scoreboard. I'm like, nope. All right, so we got dime, even, Mars, one home match. I'm not really going to go through this because they run the ball. They read split zone with an arc. You know,
I would just because this unbalanced here is really probably it ain't probably it is. It's bad coaching on my part. We should have had a check to get us out of this. You know, if it's cover 6, because they only got 3 eligible receivers out there in the wide. I mean, well, I guess the Y is so.
Yeah. Well, at least your match, it's one hole. But if this is if this was number 1, I think Fields, right? If Fields is in that, maybe there's a problem. But because now you got one guy on the swipe back and the quarterback, but he hands it. And they don't even go for it on 4th down. That's the crazy part. But, I mean, it is 3-0, so I get it. All right. We got mint scissors, the number 1 mint tight front fire zone call by everybody that runs it. Double edge pressure, fire zone rotation of passing strength. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get confused on the rules sometimes. Now,
scissors just the jack and the star.
Mm-hmm.
It's opposite, 5-2.
Now, one of the issues, we got pony personnel, so it's 21 with 2 tailbacks. And we'll talk about this later. You guys run some hot pressures behind it, which Bama never ran hot pressures. I shouldn't say never. It was very rare, but you'll see why. So a little foreshadowing. Now, one of the issues with the fire zone stuff, and coach me up on this, is the slide boot plays are getting 3 out fast. It's hard sometimes, especially out of a bunch.
Yeah, and we should be in good shape here.
What should have happened?
Well, I would have cornered it, and if as the safety, instead of the safety coming down, we should just make a corner call and let the corner play the flat, be the flat player, and let the safety play the third. And we all would have just stood there and let them run to us.
What is he saying right here? I mean, I don't want to give away the signals, but what's he trying to signal?
I think he's trying to tell him that he's signaling safety. It's a safety call. But if you're going to do that, the safety needs to go ahead and get down so he can play the third. Safety's just late getting to the flat.
So he needs to just come down. This is one of those where screw the disguise, come down and play it.
Yeah, or you just make a corner call and let the corner play the flat and you play the third. That way you can stay too high.
Remind me of your bunch check. Is safety the bunch check and fire zone?
It is, but
So
so
that's
is
why
corner.
he's calling that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, safety means the safety's down. Corner means the corner's down.
Got it. Okay. That's a good concept by them to get into 21 and then get the back out fast. I mean, there was some really creative stuff in this game on both sides of the ball. All right, we got a sting check. We got some crazy-ass formation. This is the whole formation. This is why I loved y'all. Gun empty, tractor train, up, stack, Y off, X squeeze, Q outside. We got sting check. So now we got Wildcat 1st and 10.
It's Wildcat. So we're playing hot coverage.
Yeah, this is the hot coverage. Okay, talk to me about hot, Coach.
So yeah, when they went to Wildcat, we were just going to play blitz coverage, hot coverage. So yeah.
So not the eyes 2 under 3 deep coverage.
Right. No. Yeah. We're playing.
Okay.
This is blitz.
Okay, so blitz coverage. So man, what do you call your 2-man stacks in cover 0? Is that tango?
And we lock it.
Lock it. Okay. So right now he should come and play the tight end, and that's man, and y'all are just bringing him, and then the backer's going to stay in the box.
I think we're bringing one backer to get us a 5-0 front. Yeah. And then we're playing man-to-man with the 5 defensive backs. And the middle backer has the quarterback or the Wildcat guy.
And this guy's supposed to force the issue on the jet?
Yep.
Okay. Because he's got a slanting 3. He's got a guy slanting to a 3 so he can box.
That's right.
If he was staying as a G, you wouldn't want to box, though, because, right, it would open the B gapper, or you telling that backer you play it?
I would tell the backer to play it.
Five-yard gain. We'll watch the end zone one time through. And these plays will go quicker as we go because we'll see redundant stuff. Nice job by 69 playing the patented Brandon Staley created 1 gap and a half technique. Getting inside on the A, throwing and going back to the B. Gets the shit held out of him, but still a good effort. All right. Nickel flex 6 bump Pinto. Now what's interesting is Huskers isn't in the call, but I think this is a Huskers call. I just think it was tagged weird because it's 6 bump Pinto. You got blue, so 11 personnel, 2nd and 5. You got 6 stay, which means if it's star man motion, you spin rather than run, correct?
Yeah, going to cover 6. And I think we're in 6. So 6 bump Pinto, because Pinto remembers a tray check, so we might I think against these guys we like Pinto better than just calling Bronco, just play based off where the running back was at.
Right. So you get cop if the back is weak.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a great job. I did not expect Jake from State Farm to pull this and go. If this wasn't a national championship game and you guys had film review the next day, how much shit are we giving Mac Wilson on this play? We giving him a pretty hard time?
He just got to press the ball inside out, right? Press the near hip.
Yeah. All right, base chop, regular personnel, 21 personnel sighting. We got classy, which means we got condensed to both sides. Okay.
Yeah, classy.
Boundary or base chop nail fire zone. So you're going and you're playing quarters behind it because it's a pro set.
Right. Yeah. Will Backer's got first to the flat. Free safety's got 1. Playing nail over here. Quarters over here.
You know what I love about you guys is you have the ball. See, I'm a puss. Every time we would get this, I'm a wuss. I would have him peel and we would lose our pressure. And I love it. You're like, you know what? You got the first of the flat. I don't give a shit. Go.
Oh yeah, we're just a little late off the ball. We got to hit on the quarterback, but you still affect the quarterback. You don't even hit the
Yeah.
quarterback because you brought pressure. You've affected him.
This is why all the McVay stuff baffles me why it's been so successful because and everything comes in cycles. And I mean, shit, they won the Super Bowl. Uh but I feel like in the NFL, guys don't take as much advantage of edge pressure. Now I know I'm from the TCU school, but you give me double condensed all the time,
Yeah,
you can't
you'd be
ID where
double.
the stuff's coming from.
Yeah.
It was funny. My OC, the last place I was, he got in all the open stuff, the condensed stuff, and picked us apart in 7-on. I mean, kicked our ass. And then when it was time to go 11 on 11, it was a much different deal because you could fire everybody up. All right, talk to me about this. This is something we get a lot of questions about. We got nickel heads, 11 invert check Bronco. Now, 11 invert, the difference between 1 and 11 is the motion rules, correct?
Oh me. Well, this was something that we put in just for this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I can't remember.
Okay.
Now they might still be running it. I just remember we put it in for this game, and I don't remember what the rules were.
They are still running it, and because they are still running it, and I protect my friends, I'm going to leave it at that. But yes, it is. Now, talk to me about the head stuff. This is really popular with some of the coaches that are some of my closest friends. This is the snap, and you start doing it a lot more. I don't know if you can remember why in the game you went toward it, or if it was in the game plan and you started calling it. But talk to me first of all how you're teaching those interior guys how to fit this, how you're teaching the backers to fit off of it, and why did you start running it in this game?
Well, we liked it as a change up, so the two defensive tackles are just playing two techniques, and they're two gapping. So we were good at two gapping. It was going to give these guys a different look, and maybe not declare the gaps for the running backs near as fast as you would in true threes and in a 2-eye or 3 and a 1.
So when you're two gapping here, these guys with zone this way, you know where the zone's going to go because of where the
Yeah,
back's lined up in his depth. So you know that these guys in the center now is going to step play side. So
right.
this 94 right here, is he playing primary, secondary, or is he playing? I'm playing A, and then as it gets past me, I throw into the B, or are you just trying to get your head front side, or do you really view it as the same thing?
No, what I'm going to tell them is I want them to strike out of their hips, and I want to eject that guy. And on the zone, like you said, you should know where the zone's going. He should put the lineman in the A gap, and then he plays the B gap. To me, that's what two gapping is. Put his body in one gap, build a wall, in which he does. The guard's late. He don't get pushed. He's kind of playing both gaps. He's just kind of doing it a little bit from the front side.
So you're playing. He's right now technically he's playing the A, he's playing the B. The center is going to start to climb, so this guy can really play both A's, right? If he plays in
No, no
here
doubt. Yeah.
and make it cut back. What are you telling these linebackers and how to fit the ball?
Well, they should know based off where the back's at that. I mean, to me, number 30,
Mm-hmm.
he wants to shuffle stack, get the guy to try to climb, and then fall back because the ball should be cut. It should be made to force back right here. And then 32, he's not gonna. I mean, in reality, it's kind of puts this. It keeps the tackle from being able to put four hands on the 2-eye based off his location, if that makes sense. They're looking to run the ball to bend it back, and I actually feel like 32 is doing a nice job uh, pressing the hole there to get them off of them. And you can
It's a
see the
great
wall
play.
that's built, and we actually count our corner in the B gap because there's no eligibles over here.
Yeah, because it's what you guys call chevron.
Chevron, yes.
Now, talk to me. Why don't you go corners over with this?
Um, I don't know. This was probably a game plan deal. Maybe
Hmm.
we were supposed to. I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, it's Bronco. It's Czech Bronco. So I guess that I'm sorry. Yeah, that
Oh,
would make sense.
oh,
I'm thinking it's cover one. I'm thinking it's cover one. I
okay.
apologize.
So there's Bronco on the call. I got
Yeah, I answered my own damn question,
okay.
which
Yeah,
usually
you
happens.
did.
Now, let me ask you this: if the center stays play side, are you going to let 30 go take it?
Yeah, yeah.
So you're
If he need, if
reading
he,
basically because we did something similar. I think I just said it backwards, which was if the center. No, I guess it would have been the same way. Talking to the tackle was you're going to step in here and you're going to strike, but your eyes are inside. If he climbs, you're going to try to get your ass and play both A's. Let him rope a dope or whatever you want to call it, fall back. If he stays here, you can end up doing the same thing, but you're going to hit this faster. Is that is that
yeah,
is that accurate or no? Would you still have him stack
yeah.
and fall back?
Well, I think the center is working really slow here, which kind of muddies the water a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you see how he hesitates there. Most of the time, they give a fast shove on the 2-eye, but he doesn't here. He kind of looks at his eyes over there. But so I think 30 does a nice job. The guy's starting to climb on him. He's got to take him on and build a wall where there's
Right.
not any space.
And you think this is because he's in the two and not the 2-eye? He hesitates.
Yeah, I do. I
Okay.
do. I think it's the first time we've been in it in the game too.
Yes, this because I was tracking this. Okay, talk to me about this. This is an interesting call, and I read it and I forgot it already, so I apologize. 3rd and 8, they actually throw the ball this time. 11 personnel. It's Dime Rabbits even 77 Witch triple Douglas. Now the Witch, if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, was its bracket if 2 is off, its switch if 2 is on. Is
That's
that the
right.
rule for Witch?
In 2x2,
In 2
yes.
by 2.
So, yeah, in 2x2, and then obviously you got wasn't there a triple call on this?
There was triple Douglas.
Yeah, triple Douglas. Yeah. So, and here is going to be a perfect example. So we're treating this formation like it's 3x1, all right, which
Mm-hmm.
is a mistake on our part, not our players, on us. This was a game plan error. All right, we should treat this as 2-back because this is what I'm talking about. The location of the Y, he's not coming out. So we
Right.
treated this as 3x1. So now we've got the inside backer who's going to be matched up on a speed wide receiver instead of the DBs. And you can see the guy running open across the field.
Right. Because the coverage on the tags was stack.
Yes. So
So,
they're thinking we're playing stack alert bingo. So
ah,
we're crossed up here.
and this is the 7-man protection stuff you talked about early on.
Yeah.
And they go FIB on top of it. I mean, they had a great game. It's amazing because the score stayed low, but both sides, when we watch the end zone on that play, were relatively creative, I have to say, in this game. You could really see the chess match. Oh, look, a
Well, we
stunt without a stunt tag. Shocker.
uh,
Coach, let me come, next stop, let me come train your GAs on how to tag a game.
there you go.
All right, we got gray personnel. So 13, base strong, 2 core, check, double cat. The
Yeah.
double cat is on.
Double
We
cat.
we got I near X tight to Z crack, Raider flare. Oh boy.
Uh,
You
see,
said something,
here's
something,
our
something pass rush.
hey, you see our outside backer. Is that Terrell playing the flats?
24, yeah.
Yeah, it's playing the flats. Late to it, make the ball take you to the flat.
All that for no yard gain. I love it. You move over. Coach,
Yep.
next
Move
stop.
over.
Knock. New offensive center.
Yeah, not.
There you go. Also, tackle over should always be called taco. It's just fun. Okay.
Yeah.
I've talked about this ad nauseum, so it's good that this has come up. 2nd and 10, blue personnel, 30-yard line. So we're in the fringe. You're calling mint 4 mod full check. Now, we've talked about this before about full and Franklin. For those of you guys who follow the defense, full means you're going to go to 3x1. if the star, if the tight end's to the star, but if it's 2x2, it's off. Where if it's Franklin, if the 2x2, the Y is off, you're still going to bring strong 3 auto or strong 3. Now, the reason you played full was because Chaney ran zone cut. He was not going to swipe back as much as he was going to run zone cut, correct?
That's right.
Okay,
That's
here's
right.
my question. I had this thought because I was preparing. We did this, and I did a Glazier, and I talked about my own spin on it. Let me ask you this. Did you ever game plan this where if the Y was off and the back was to the Y, it was for mod, but if the back was weak and the Y was off, it would check Franklin. So almost a halfway between a Franklin and a full, where you may get that zone peel look more. Do you ever do that?
So yeah. So would that not be this call? Would that not be 4 mod full?
Well, here it would be, but if
So,
the back is what I'm saying, if the back is weak and you're likely to get this guy coming back, you'd go Franklin.
oh,
So
I
it's
got you.
full if the back is to the Y, it's Franklin if they're split.
I
You ever do
got you.
that?
No, no, I have not. No, it's a good idea.
Because I was thinking about that. Yeah, you're going to get zone cut. I know that's why you did it, but you're going to get zone cut with the back and the tight end stacked on the same side. But if he's here, I mean, you get buck sweep or stretch or whatever. But with this guy here, looking back, I'm thinking, well, shit, they actually run it from there. Actually, it's funny. They run it stacked, so they must have known.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right,
Yeah.
Dime 48.1 funnel. Here's an old school call. Why one funnel in this game? Why one funnel at all?
Yeah. One funnel coming down away from the money. So um, I like this call. If we're going to play, what was the whole call again? 48.1
Dime
funnel?
Rabbits 48.1 funnel. So 48 point for those of you who do not know
Yeah.
is if the Y is in the core, the end will line up in a wide 9, and the money will line up in a choke technique, like the bear inside 7 technique. Am I right on that?
That's exactly right.
Trying
No,
to save you
I
time, Coach.
do what now?
I'm trying to save you some time. Explain the
Yeah.
stuff I know. We can move quick.
No, it's good.
We got so much of the game. Good throw, good catch. You get double 9s and crash 7 to the other side. Watch this one more time. I mean, that's just a good throw.
Yeah, great throw, great catch. Make them earn it.
I mean, they definitely had to on that play. I mean, damn. All right, we got Hornet Red Fire Zone. So we got, it ends up being Star Sting. So I can't believe I didn't put 1, 2, and 2 together with Hornet and Sting.
Yeah.
Took me to tonight to make that. Awesome fit right here.
Here's your play. They love it. 4x1, zone cut.
There it is.
That is, what is that? Black Ohio? That's what they call it, I believe.
Oh, shit. He's dropping the real bombs now.
That was what Jim called it, Black Ohio, I believe.
I remember giving this play to our offensive coordinator because after I went and visited Georgia, I visited you guys and just watched the death and destruction that was caused by other people. Awesome fit by 32 here.
Yeah, and really good job by 24 digging it out, not getting cut off. Seeing the location of the whites, gun near, that guy stacked in there because he's trying to cut him off, and he knows he's got to get there to get that ball out, and they can't block the front.
What a play! God, I love it. A 4-man coach. I haven't met a guy who slanted as much as I have out of the 4-man front stuff. So anytime you see 4-man front slant, my heart is happy. All right, we got Deuce Trey. So we got a 12 personnel look. It's actually 12 personnel, 2nd and 10. You guys are playing nickel flex 1 invert Bronco. So this is going to check 2 Bronco. Good DB play here. 28 had a hell of a game. Or no, I'm sorry, that's 39.
Yeah.
Both guys played awesome. Just that technique.
So yeah.
Oh.
Hmm.
A little chat check. How's the audio? How's the film, guys? If we have any problems, let me know. Okay. Here's a really rare call. Well, it's not a rare call, it's a rare outcome. You got 3rd and 10 on the 10-yard line, playing Dime Rabbits even Denver, red 7 switch. And the
Hmm.
coverage is switch Iowa, which is very rare. Which Iowa is for the viewers. You have a dime on 3 playing outside, doubling with the middle of the field safety, playing halves over the top of here. But since it's switch 7 switch, you guys are playing switch here. Talk to me about the Denver call again. I remember when I came and saw you, there was a Denver and a Colorado. Could you take me through that?
Oh, so Denver means we're not counting the Y, and we're not counting the Y in pro formations. So the Y does not create 3-by-1. It's like you don't exist in pro formations. When
Gotcha.
you get tray formations as this, the corner goes over. We play Iowa and play the integrity of the call on 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado Colorado is just for tray. So if we make
Ah.
a Colorado call, it's just a trade check. The corner would go over and play the integrity of the call.
So you're not counting. You're not really counting this quote unquote as tray. You're not meaning you're not going to a tray check.
No, this is Trey. We count it as Trey.
Oh, you did
Denver
count it as
has
tray.
Trey in it. Yes, yes. So what the reason we made this call, right? It was Denver, right?
Uh huh.
Yeah. So what's the down and distance?
3rd and 10.
Third. Yeah. So what are we expecting? We're expecting the Y to stay in and 7-man protect. So I didn't want the guys to count the Y. I didn't want us to get to a 3-by-1 check. Remember
Got
the
it.
other third down when they busted us on it? We
Mm-hmm.
counted the Y. That's why we put the Denver call on it.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that when I came up and visited. I love that idea. We had a similar call where we just said X, which meant the backer had 3 vertical by himself in quarters. Because we would see teams that go 3-by-1, but they would never send 3 down the pipe. They would either keep them in the
Right.
block or they'd run like dagger, seam, flat, nothing going vertical. Or it was some big lug tight end that we could cover, and we didn't want to have to get in the 3-by-1 world. So love that concept. All right, we got 12 personnel. They're backed up 1st and 10 on their own 5. Base under, zone alert, bump. We already talked about what that means. We got cover 6 playing Rip Liz with a corner call to the boundary to short motion, activates the corner, is now going to play the flat and be the force. Safety will put over the top, basically a 3 cloud concept. If we could, Coach, talk to me real quick about this, and I know this could be a whole discussion for a whole nother show. How did you guys go about game planning your under and your base calls? Because you guys had so many calls, whether it was 3, 7, all the slot checks, all that stuff. When you were putting together your base plan, base coverage plan, base front plan, under front plan at a regular personnel, how are you building those calls?
Yeah, if I think right in this game, we were going to play Bass based on 3 auto check dot mod.
Mm-hmm.
We were gonna play Bobo, which is base strong 2 check double cat. We were going to play under zone alert bump, and we were going to play fixed 3 duo. Our only pressure that we were going to run was going to be base chop.
Mm-hmm.
That for this game, that was
Right.
what we were going to do. That was it. That was the margin. That was what we were going to call in base defense versus their 12 personnel.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at this right now. Yeah, that's basically it now. But how are when you're building those calls, when you're saying, all right, what do we want to play in this game? How do you decide between the myriad of coverages you have? I mean, is it just simple as, hey, we need to stop the run, let's get in a 6. Hey, we need to double a guy, we're gonna play 2. I mean, where are you really how are you building those calls? Because you do have some pretty, base under O, 7 adjusted duo auto, like all these calls, and there's so many of them. How do you pick which one?
Well, I think in this game, they were not. They were more of a 11 personnel team when they
Mm-hmm.
got into tight ends. They might open it up a little bit, but not as much as they did later on down the road, next couple of years. So you were going to get dot. You were going to get 3-by-1. You were going to get condensed formations. They were going to run the football and play action pass.
Gotcha. And you got duo here with X squeeze duo. Corners coming in to dig out support. 1 yard gain. All right, we got nickels flex 6-bump Bronco. You check the heads. You play Bronco. I believe you went to heads because it was tub. I think I'm starting to see a theme here. So
Right.
2 yard gain. They're going to run zone cut. Just another great job of fitting it. We'll go to the end zone shot.
Well, they stayed in the 4 down there.
Oh, so they didn't get to heads. My bad.
Yeah. But it's a good look at the alignment of everybody.
Center comes off again. He's not as hesitant as he was the last time. 99 does a good job.
Yeah.
Striking.
If they're going to block it like that, he's got to make that play 2 eye.
Yeah. A lot of guys waste their 2 eyes because they get so heavy on the guard, they never get their eyes inside. All right, we got 3rd and 7. Blue.
First. Yeah.
Nickel flex 6-bump. Maybe the calls are off. No, this is right.
No, this is right. This is 3rd down. I remember this call. I called it because so many run plays earlier in the game. Stayed in nickel here because I was thinking run.
Mm-hmm.
Played cover 6. Didn't probably get enough depth. Still good protection, good throw, good pass. They got us on this one. This is on me.
Do you think this is part of the plan? Was to try to they were going to struggle blocking your exotic stuff, so they tried to lull you to not to sleep, but like, hey, I mean, they ran the ball on 3rd and 10 on their own 40 or on your 40, and now they're backed up and they're throwing it. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah,
good. You think that was part of the calculus?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've done a nice job mixing it up. Jim's always been a really good play caller. They had a really good plan.
Was this Jim's first national championship game as an OC?
I don't know.
Because I remember watching this game and thinking guys were playing it close to the vest. I mean, it's 3:45 left in the second. It's 6-0. So I'm not really surprised. All right, we got another double cat check. They're going to throw the ball again.
Did you see the emphasis? We wanted to get double cat in there.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah, it sure shit did. I mean, they're all their deep stuff is gone. They're trying to leak out fullbacks and tight ends in the flat. It's you ate up all the stuff that makes that package what it is. They even try to speed break you out of the huddle, and they try to go Auburn on you a little bit. They don't necessarily sugar huddle, but they try to sprint to the ball.
We've about seen it all in the first half.
Yeah.
Except for the wishbone and triple option.
You did see a little Jake from State Farm run, though. All right, Flint 2-star roll, check laser. Can you talk to me about the Flint rules at 2nd and 10?
Yeah, so Flint is a front for us, tells the jack to go to the boundary. We're going to be in a 4-down front unless you get 2 open into the boundary, then we check to mint. And slide to the jack. That was our Flint rule. So we're bringing the star from the field, and hey, we're really just it's a simulator. We're bringing 4 guys, and we're rolling to trap coverage to the field.
Gotcha. They run away from it, get 4 yards. Now it's 3rd and 6. The call is dime rabbits, odd ollie, one of my favorites. 0 check not. We talked about this, I think, on the podcast. These are the Charlie beaters, 7-man protection. They run dancer read, which is, I believe, out here. He's going to read the middle, and then these guys can fall off based on the leverage of the corner. So the original call is supposed to be a 4-man pressure away from the back. End here, money here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Money here, Buck or Mike here. Going 4 strong away from the back with a lion path. But you get the 7-man look, so you go to your Charlie beater, which is to bring pressure and play 2-man under 5 dog.
Yeah, but if you notice, they dinked the tight end, so we didn't. We stayed with the ollie.
Ah, they did what with the tight end? I'm sorry.
He started out. It started out four open. There, if you go back, rewind it a little bit. Keep
Mm,
rewinding. See, he starts outside, so we did not get to the Charlie protection. We did not get to not. We ran. The player stayed with Ollie.
okay, because the call. So I guess it should have been going to the 5 dog, right?
Yeah, it would have been on how we did it in game plan. Did we
Because
say
the
we were going to check to it or not? Yeah,
because the tag is as if you checked it. That's why I said that. So I apologize.
yeah.
My apologies. I love this blitz. We made a lot of money off this blitz. We would see 50 teams that would stay in half slide protection versus an odd. Uh, and we would blitz into the slide because the nose would stay on the center and the back would go opposite. And we'd blitz into the slide and get 2-on-1 on the guard every time. All right. 6-bump Pinto check laser. So you've almost got the. You've got the rest of the check from Huskers, but you don't have the 7. So playing more Ripley's here than you did off the bat. 1st and 10, blue personnel, so you got 11. Both guys are on the ball.
Yeah, I think it's important here to note that this is 2 minutes before the half. This is start of the drive. There's like a minute and 15 seconds left, 19
Yes.
seconds left. It's 6-0. So I'm thinking historically they're going to run the ball or do something to get the drive started to try to see if they want to go 2 minute, which they do. They complete. I think they complete a ball there.
Yeah, they do. They get 10 yards.
Yeah.
They get the first.
Right. So now here they come.
Do you still think in the back of your mind those runs on 3rd down are getting you to play the rip list stuff in 2 minutes? Do you think the
No, I
score
don't
of the
think
game,
so.
because rip Liz in 2 minutes, that's not your normal MO, I don't think.
No, that's why I did it for the runs. Yeah,
Right.
runs and screens here. Yeah, but it's 2 minutes before the half, so they could do anything. The
Yeah.
first thing I would say is they want to make sure they end the half with the ball.
Right. Or we got Huskers here. We got finally a straight up formation, gun near flex, 2x2. Y is on the ball, so we're gonna get bracket. You guys actually play cut here instead of CC.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a rule where if the Y was on, you play cut, and if the Y was off, you played CC?
I think we did.
Okay.
Looking at this game, the
You
way the
push the
guys
cut
are.
again.
Yeah, push the cut.
Great job by the corner. That's how you play that technique. Post up, ass to the sideline, hold off, let the route bring you back up. A lot of drops by them. They had some open guys and missed some opportunities. All right, here's
Mm-hmm.
Flint Star 2-roll check laser. So you're going to get mint now. We get 2x2. So you see them slide over to mint. So it's kind of the opposite. A lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll go mint, and then if it's 2x2, they'll go to flex or they'll go to something else because they don't want the
Right.
jack walked. But here, you guys do the opposite, which is a good changeup call. Now talk to me. The play is Seattle read. So you got 4 verts with outside guys reading. How do you think the trap down here affects the routes?
Oh man, this is exactly what we wanted because what you just said, we wanted them to think that we're bringing the star and playing 3 deep. And I told you before, it was very hard to fool this quarterback. He did a phenomenal job. We had exactly what we wanted here. We fooled him. He thought he was getting 3 deep, so he was going to throw the comeback, thinking the corner was going to be high, and he threw it blind right into a trap corner. And unfortunately, it was just a high throw.
Yeah.
Oh me, this is what you look for in this call.
Now, talk to me about this. Was this something you had seen because of how he reacted to nickel pressure, or is this kind of a general kind of thing where, hey, 3 deep, people are going to throw comebacks, or was it something on film where you had seen him specifically do it?
Well, it was a thing to where we felt like that. This call has always been pretty good versus RPO teams. And we felt like he was a very smart quarterback and knew where to go with the ball. And one of the few ways that we felt like we might could get him was if we showed middle of the field coverage and then played split safety out of the look of middle of the field coverage, and it's what we got on this one.
Well, there is
Yeah.
that DA. Is that DA going insane?
No, I think that's
Oh, Javier
Javier.
Arenas. Funny
Yeah.
story. I went and visited Bama 6 months after this game, and Javier Arenas was standing in the lobby with somebody who looked very familiar to me. And I had met Javi the day before, and that I keep looking at this guy. I'm like, who is that? I know this guy with Javier. It was Julio Jones, and I had a duffel bag because I was going to be in. You know, when I come visit, I'm in there for like 16 hours in a day, and I had like food and stuff in the bag. He thought I was selling shit in front of the building, like I was selling sunglasses or something. He's like, "What you selling, dude?" I'm like, "What?" And Javier's like, "No, that's a high school coach. What are you doing?" All right, 7 box we got here. The Y is tucked in. They decide to run zone cut, a third down run. They get 14.
Uh, and we don't read run pass at the star position on this one has hurt us here.
How about that end, coach? You think he's wide enough?
Oh man.
Oh, no, that's the backer. It's 32.
Hmm.
Dime Rabbits.
This is a huge drive here. Six
Yes.
to zero. These guys are going to score a touchdown. I can't get the right personnel on the field. You
How
look
many
like a dead
timeouts
guy.
do you have right now? I'm trying to see the scoreboard. Does it say? I can't tell.
I can't
All
see
right, so
it.
Nickel's coming on the field. It's 7 mix. They run Seattle Reed again. So they run the
Uh,
same play. You can see the comebacks. They throw the comeback this time out of bounds.
yeah, 2 minute play for them.
They just need a little Big Ben in and Big Ben out, coach.
It's one thing that's real interesting is for coaches out there when you look at 2 minute, always look at what they people call with a running clock. You know what I'm saying? So it's in 2 minute. They have a play like these guys just had where they converted a first down or the ball's in play and it's a running clock. What's the calls that they go to? Because most of the time it's pretty specific.
Yes, sir. All right, so 1st and 5. They got a penalty there on you. They throw truck to toss in the boundary, gets 7. It's now a first down. You give them boomer bracket, check laser, 1st and 10. So you get a good coverage, pressure that's safe. That they end up going FIB, so you kill it and you go to 7 mod. Good adjustment here. Actually, I don't think you play mod, but that's the call on the cut. The cut looks like it's cut into the boundary.
Right.
Oh shit! 14-yard scramble here. You get flex Huskers now on 1st and 10. So what do we got time wise? Down to 28 seconds. I
8 seconds, yeah.
don't know the tight end or the time situation. We get bracket with a CC down here at the bottom, and they hit the Seattle read off play action or a flash fake. Great throw, great catch. Get the ball down near the goal line. All right, one of my favorite red zone calls. We got Eagle Blitz, which is all it is double edge pressure out of 4 down. Nickel. They're in 11 personnel. They run, you guessed it, friend, zone cut. Make a great play. Stuff them. So they must have timeouts if they're running the ball down here. I mean, I can't
Right.
see the next play. They run a zone read. They throw it. They try to take the shot down here to the X. You guys are in a Tiger Blitz, which is a 7-man pressure. I'm going a little faster, guys, because we've been here for almost 2 hours already, and we haven't even gotten the second half, so we're gonna go faster. Incomplete. Then the next play, same call, Tiger Blitz. You're bringing 6 or 7. They shift to the Wildcat late, and they run split zone read arc, RPO, tough down with 12 seconds left.
Who won this game?
I know. It's 13-0 going into halftime. All right, second half. They come out on a 10 personnel look. You guys are in heads, 11 invert. So now invert now. It comes down the safety. Safety comes down weak away from the star, correct? Or no, because it's
Right.
3-by-1. He would come down to the star.
Yeah, we're coming down to the fourth receiver.
Fourth receiver, that's right.
Yeah.
They try the stretch play again. I don't know why. Wasn't good the first time. It's even shittier the second time. Now it's second and long. All right. Mint strong fire zone. Check Jackson. Coach, explain to the folks at home what Jackson means.
Jackson is a four open check. If there's two open guys to the jack, we want to go to Jackson. Let's get him out of coverage. So we're going to go fire zone to the jack. So right now it's Jackson, which would be lucky for us.
When he comes back, it becomes, and lucky is a path. So you're running what most people call the NCAA path. You're going here, you're bringing the backer, you're now rotating strong. What amazes me is how you guys get all this stuff taught. Where, and really to me, I look at Jackson as like the fire zone version of base strong 3 auto, right? You're bringing a nickel, you're bringing the Sam, and now if it's too open in the boundary, the whole thing is you don't want this guy matched up on a speed at 2. So you check, and this is a great, because I get this question all the time. Hey, we're bringing these field pressures and we're playing the creepers or simulated pressures where we got 2 weak. Don't be afraid to just kill it and bring the end and say, screw it. We're just going to rush the 4 down and go weak side rotation 3. You guys get back to it.
Got right back to it. Good play.
Minka does Minka things, turns the ball inside. Swift loses 8. And now we got 3rd and 21, Coach. You guys aren't screwing around now. Dime Rabbits, odd coin, 66 alert. 3rd and 21. Drop 8.
7 box wasn't working, so we went 66 alert.
So 66 alert is if it's coach me up on this. If it's 2x2, it's weak side rotation.
Weak buzz. Yeah, it's weak buzz. If it's 2x2, it's weak buzz. If it's 3x1, it's strong buzz.
Okay, so we're always buzzing. And P, anytime you see a P in in your system, that means you're dropping 8, right?
That's it.
Okay.
Don't ask me why.
Coach, I wouldn't dare. Hey, 3rd and 21. They're just going to run the zone cut. Minka knows what's up. He's like, y'all ain't fooling my ass again. 32. Is that Evans? Rashawn Evans?
Yeah, Rashawn
I'm
Evans.
so bad with names. I was on Mina Kimes' podcast, and she had to coach me up. She's like, listen, because I wrote up like what we wanted to talk about. And she's like, listen, everything is great, but I've listened to you before. You got to learn their names. You can't be talking to ESPN audience going 74 is doing this. They're going to look at you like you're insane. All right, we got 11 invert, so we're going down to the to 3x1. Got a little play action with Crash. Damn, he lulled my ass to sleep. I thought when I saw this the first time, I thought he thought it was a run play. That's dirty. That's not fair, Coach. That's the opposite of whatever an RPO is. All right, you and I talked about killing stuff, killing blitzes. Rather, that sounded very ominous and vague. A lot of people like to check out of blitzes. You like to check into blitzes, or you like to flip your blitzes. And anybody that's seen that on film, you can see this. I'm not telling any secrets. Here you got Sting check, they check. I don't know if they showed it early or something happened here. It's supposed to be, as of right now, I believe the star's supposed to go.
That's right.
And you decide to go, hey, screw it. We're going to bring it from the boundary and play bracket. They flip the back, and little do they know, they're going right into the blitz.
Yeah. So it's one of those formations. If you remember earlier when I said that I felt like he was changing the protection, they were in gun near and the back was wide. If you start this thing over, I think they started in the pistol.
Yeah, the farthest back I can go.
He was on that side. Yeah, he's weak, but look how deep he is. See his location? It's like he's in a run. It's where they're running the football, so you felt like this was going to be a run. So just go opposite of where you showed the pressure from.
Now, was there setup? If you remember, I don't know how much. I mean, you coach with Coach Chaney. Also, a giveaway here is. Did you? Okay, you moved the front late. Okay, never mind. I was going to say maybe they thought it was a pressure because you lined up with the G away from the tight end, which is not something you guys do a whole lot. I know
Right.
later times you did, but not in this era. But do you think they saw that from the sideline? Because they're not a no huddle like speed team. They're do you think that's something Chaney saw from the sideline?
No, I think this is all Jake. I think
Okay.
this is Jake. Yeah,
Now, did you hire Jim? You didn't hire him till 19 at Tennessee, right?
that's right.
So
He
he
was there
wasn't there.
2
I was going to
years.
say, what was if you were hired him in 18, what would have been the interview like? Hey, man, good game. Last time we played. Now I'm going to hire your ass. All right, we got Flex Illini. Pinto, the back is weak, so we're playing. Actually, no, wait. It says Bronco here. I guess the tag is wrong because this ain't Bronco,
Yeah,
is it?
tags. Yeah, no, it's not Bronco. It's Pinto.
Okay,
Yep.
so you got
Plain cop.
Cop.
Plain cop. Yep.
So, and to review, if the back is fast, it becomes like a cloud, and the safety
Right.
has two. If the back is slow, then the backer takes him, and then the corner takes the tight end with him poaching, looking for anything from this side.
That's correct.
Okay, very sight-ish. I've talked about the sight because I do a lot of Fangio stuff and Staley stuff. We talk about sight a lot. Where you're reading the release and the speed of the back, changing the integrity of the coverage. All right, coach, this play is painful. I'm sorry. This is one of my. When I came and visited, you taught. Actually, I think you personally taught me this call, and I freaking loved it. Now it doesn't show up here on film. This is called dip. So dip is. If you wouldn't mind taking us through what dip is, because I love this call.
Yeah, dips. We're bringing the DB to the back. So the DB's to the back,
So this would be the
and
free
he's in.
safety. It's 3-by-1, right?
Yeah.
Let me get a formation check here. All right, it's three by. Actually, let's do this from the sideline. So free safety is going off the edge.
Right. He's going off the edge with blitz peel. So if the guy blocks him or flares, he's got him.
And that's what the
And
share call would be. Zero shares the coverage.
yeah, zero share. And then the backer is reading the center. So he's going to go to the B gap opposite the center. And you can see that both D tackles are taking up the A gaps. If the center slides to you as a D tackle, you should work back to the B. And like 32, instead of going underneath there, he's on the side, it's dip right. He should be bulling because if the back flares, he's got contained. He should not be going inside.
Okay, so he should be bowling and keeping a tight outside presence on this tackle to let this guy go. Now, will you tell him to go under late if he blocks? Like this?
If he feels the back staying in, but he's really got to stay on the edge.
If you guys have seen my coach tube stuff or my glazier clinic on third down stuff, we modified it a little bit and stole this. And I love, man, we had some great cuts of it. Just ear holing the quarterback.
This is a good throw and catch.
I'll only make you watch it twice.
Now,
how are you? Go ahead, coach. I'm sorry.
I said, did he step out of bounds or was that a touchdown? I can't remember.
Oh.
This touchdown.
See if we get an end zone shot of this. Okay. Oh, God, I can't tell. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Oh, the misery. All right, I won't make you relive that. Yeah, but here's the next play. They get the ball, 1st and 10. It's 20-7. This is where the game changes right here.
Yeah, 6 minutes left in the game, right? So they just scored the
Six
touch. I
minutes
mean,
left in the third.
third.
Okay.
Yeah, just scored a touchdown, and then I think we turned the ball over.
Yep.
We punted, and they were going to punt back something. So, thinking here they're going to take a shot,
Which
right?
they end up doing on a trick play. They run dancer, stop, and go. So they've run
Yeah,
the verts with the read, the verts with the read, the verts with the read, and now they're going to hit the and go. You guys are
yeah,
playing too deep, and you get an interception and turn the whole tide of this game. This is
yeah. I
where it
think
changes right here.
this is Flint 2-row, star 2-row.
Yes, it is.
So, you can see This is a really good look of disguising it, making it look like middle of the field, then coming back, and you can see the double moves, and we get pressure, and ball bounces our way.
Changes the whole game.
Yeah, game changed right there.
And for those of you keeping score at home, that is the 4-eye technique that makes the interception. Or the bounce. That is being luckier than man with 3 you-know-whats. My God. That ball, he turned around, the ball was in his hands. All right, so you guys get 3 points, but you stem the tide. We got a little scissors hot. So we got Tub again. So 4-0 rather. So it's hot coverage, corner on 1. Star is only playing 2 for run fit purposes. 2 is obviously on the ball. He's ineligible, but you still got to put somebody on them for run. I love that. People are like, oh, you don't have to cover him. He's ineligible. It's like, yeah, well, shit. You better have somebody on him, because otherwise I'll just do that shit and hit the edge, right?
This was in the game plan. All these different unbalanced checks. We'd never played hot coverage or blitz coverage, and this was something that Coach Saban wanted to do. And we actually changed like on a Wednesday and went to this.
Wow. Well, I guess that doesn't sound as bad because I guess the game's on Monday night, but still not where you want to be. Are you running a funnel here? Are you counting him in a funnel with this guy off the ball?
We are. Yeah.
So he swipes back. So right now he doesn't have anybody.
Right.
Or does he have the back?
Well,
he doesn't have anybody.
If the back flares, it's a 3-on-2 funnel.
Got it. Okay.
3-on-2 funnel between 15, 30, and 39.
Because you're only technically bringing 5, but you're getting an extra hat in the box. We used to do this a lot out of overfronts.
And we're getting real nosy right there.
Yeah.
If they'd pulled the ball.
All right, here's Flex Hornet, 2nd and 5. So we have, talk to me here. So where should the blitz be coming from?
Yeah. Y's on the ball, so the blitz comes away from the Y.
But the line slants. The line ends. Well, maybe let's go to the end zone. Is this a communication? Oh no, because it looks like they're slanting right. So is that they should be working this way, right?
Well, I think in this deal you can see we went ahead and lined up in a 9 technique. I'm not sure we slanted. I think we might have played technique with these guys, and then just slanted the 5 technique. This was the first game. This was the first game that we ran Hornet in.
Okay. Because I'm watching this and nobody came, so I wasn't sure if you killed it or whatever.
No.
And this is my reminder. Or go ahead, Coach.
Yeah. So 30's supposed to be coming, but we wanted them to come from depth. We did not want to show it where they would push it out.
Right. So like some people call it a bounce ad, where they're gonna like almost like a rack tom, where you're starting to come inside and out off the edge.
That's right.
All right. This is I have to give this reminder every time, Coach. I'm sorry. I get messages from fans, journalists, other coaches, and they get frustrated because they see stuff and they can't figure out what it is. And they're like, Coach, I don't understand this. Like, I can't figure this out. What's going on? They get frustrated. These guys right here, they were the best team in college football this year. But they make mistakes too. Sometimes it's hard to figure out. This is a blitz call. There is supposed to be a blitzer coming here. And he didn't go. So don't get frustrated, because I get guys that send me stuff, Coach, and they'll be like, what is that? What is that call? Why I can't figure this stuff out. I can't, guys mess up, and you're trying to make patterns and build patterns, and sometimes there is no pattern. It just one guy busts or whatever. So, and I say this a lot, but you've seen the national championship game. It happens a few times. All right, here's an interesting call. 3rd and 6, dime rabbits even. Andy Mad, 0 change, check Yankee. Andy Mad is an edge pressure away from the back. One of my other favorites. I went and visited y'all, and I put it in, made a lot of money off it. But now the Yankee, it's your Charlie beater. So talk to me about what Yankee is. Let's go to the end zone.
Yeah, so now we're counting
Pinstripes?
the wide.
Is that the signal? Pinstripes?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so we're treating this as 2 back. So we're going to cover 5. We want to add on to the back and to the tight end. Could be a lot more aggressive than what we are, but we're playing 2-man in the back end. So you can see that the front got it right with a read Tom, or maybe we were running the Tom away from the back. It's usually game plan based off protection. And we probably played stack versus this 2-man stack to play 3-on-2. And we're playing cover 5 down at the bottom, but we could have been a lot more aggressive with the money in the MAC to add on. I think they might have completed this ball.
They did for 13, so they get the first here.
Jim loves these banana routes into the boundary.
What are you referring to as a banana route, Coach? I'm sorry.
Where you get in the stacks and he crisscrosses them. They act like they're running overs, and then they run. Do a nice job, and you got a 7-man protect to give them time to get the ball off.
Yeah, to hit those downfield routes, and they really screw you up because they get in. They're getting into, and I mean, I guess at this point the pattern starts to emerge. But to be honest with you, I mean, they're getting in pass formations in 3rd and 6 and running the ball, and then they're getting in something that could be a run formation and throwing the ball. They did a really good job of keeping you guessing. I felt.
Yeah, done a nice job.
Here's Mint Scissors, double edge pressure, fire zone, into the zone cut. They get 2 off the tackle, meaning you get 2 guys behind the tackle, meaning the back and the quarterback, which makes it hard. And a double eagle front because he's got to play the quarterback. Probably a little too wide here. Coach him up right there. He turns his shoulders a little bit. What do you tell him?
Yeah, it needs to stay square. Well, first of all, you got to expect what play's coming, right?
Yeah.
It's 3-by-1. The back location, look at it. Really just need to be based off the people. Just be really slow, make him hand the ball off and fall back.
Mm-hmm. We got another Huskers call. So we get an FIB motion, so it's going to go to cover 6. So it starts off.
Let's go back to that last play. Really and truly, if we'd done a good job coaching for us, based off of it, we should be making rise calls off this. There's no Y in the core.
That right there?
Yeah, we should have been. We did not do that. This was not game plan, but I'm saying if we would have done a better job in the game plan, we should have made rise calls here. Make the quarterback keep the ball, bait him to keep the ball, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
it's funny, though, what one guy can do. I mean, that guy got that first down. Was it a first down run? He hit the zone read and got Mac. And now here's a guy that you're probably not afraid of running the ball, especially with this stable of running backs. But all it takes is that 1 6-7 yard run for you to be like, oh, shit, this guy can run. We got to be careful. You know what I mean? And I know I've been there before where I've gone into a week being like, oh, if he runs the ball, we're going to win the game. And then he runs the ball and you're like, oh, shit. We got to be careful. All right, so here's the Huskers. We got bracket, or would have been bracket, or some sort of stack check. They motion, get down to cover 6. They're going to run the split arc play. So they're going to fake the kick out and wrap. Tackle does a good job here of pointing. Like, no. Watch the blitz. They bluff it. Great job by Mac pulling back in here. I mean, this is... Let's get the wide version of that. Sorry. This is just a great job by Mac here.
We should be kicked over when they went with the motion. Our backers stayed in 3-by-1 alignments instead of 2-by-2 alignments. when they got the motion to create 2x2, we should be kicking left with the linebackers. We should be 10-40s on the other way. Yeah, yeah.
Because you need a guy inside and outside the load, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So when this guy comes around, he now creates a 3-by-1 formation. So technically, so 47 chases. The money would fit inside of the load or whatever we called it load, even though I know there's a bunch of different names for it now. So you need a guy inside and outside. Mac makes a hell of a play here because they got
It
it.
should be 30. Yeah, 30 and 32 should be outside because we've gained Minka. You see Minka falling back in. Minka's going to fall all the way back into the A gap.
Oh, so you would
We
have
should,
both guys outside of this.
yeah, we should be falling all the way back on this. If we made a force
Oh,
call,
that's
like
right, because he comes in.
yeah,
I gotcha. Yeah. That makes sense. If you're split safety, though, that's when you need outside and inside. Correct?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it's because it's cover 6. Minka, I mean, they have a guy for Mac. They actually got, I mean, really,
oh yeah,
they got 2.
we're short. Yeah, we're
This is
short.
a hell of a play. Sit down, Frank. Dime Rabbits, 48.1 funnel. Coach, I got breaking news. They throw the ball on 3rd down. This is, they got you at the sticks. You got tight coverage all over him. Legally, of course.
Big thing here is they're not. I don't think they're in field goal range. It's borderline, probably. Ball's on the 39. Yeah, so you're talking about what, 57-yard field goal? With their kicker
39
at that
opens
time.
sorry, Coach. I'm sorry.
Yeah, with their kicker, they probably could kick it from there.
They had Blankenship, right?
Yeah.
How many college kickers are household names? He's one of them.
He's one of them.
Do you think it's the glasses? Do you think if he doesn't have the glasses, he doesn't have that recognition?
You know what? I remember when he was a freshman and he was being redshirted.
Uh-huh.
I used to watch. I was a D coordinator at Georgia, and I used to watch him during warm-ups before every game. He would go out like an hour as soon as we got to the stadium, and he would kick. And it was amazing just watching him, and he knew he wasn't going to play that day, but just how much he worked that day. I love that guy.
He's awesome. All right, we got a little boomer. This is interesting. We have boomer, sting check, kill, boomer bracket. So I guess the call says on the tag says boomer corner sting, but this looks like it stays in sting check.
Yeah, it was boomer, and we killed it to sting. I bet you.
Oh, see, on the call it has the other way around. It says sting check, kill, boomer bracket.
Yeah, I bet you it was the other way.
Great fit.
Or maybe we just called sting. Who knows? It's good.
Yeah.
Got what we wanted.
What I found is when you watch tags of the last year of the game, guys aren't in a hurry to come back and tag it. Some guys are trying to get jobs, especially this year. I don't know who the GA was at Bama. They're not worried about tagging which one of the national championship game. Who gives a shit about the tags, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's loser talk. All right, we got we got a Mint Starfire 2 roll check beam, but it actually checks the scissors. That must have been your tub check for this. Hot coverage.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 on 2 funnel. Actually, is that a 4 on 2 funnel?
No.
32's going. I'm sorry. 32's he's walked off optical illusion. So you got a 3 on 2 funnel. You're bringing 5, and you're playing 0. Something I've at first thought was insane, like when high school. But if you're playing a country-ass high school team who's going to run hard play action and throw the ball outside deep, sometimes, what's that middle of field safety really going to do? So
and we can't get no more up there, and they actually gained about 12 yards on this play.
99 gets you hurt right there.
Yeah. These guys done a nice job blocking the run game.
They also did a good job on the lagging center here.
Yeah. 4 hands on.
Now we got a Bronco. So they run the same play 3 times in a row right here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a TFL. This is where being an NFL running back helps. You got him. You got him by the ass right here. I mean, you get zone cut. You cut off the backside. He has to go front side. 24 is probably a little thicker for your liking than you really want. You keep that outside like an arm free. But he sheds outside. I mean, he's right there. If this isn't a first round running back, maybe you get the tackle. He drags it for 5. Now we got sting check, kill hornet. Now it's fourth quarter. Actually, the last time might have been fourth quarter. Down by 10. All right, talk to me real quick about this. So we got sting check, kill hornet. You're running a backer go. You just line up in it because it's
no. This was So it was sting check. I killed it during the game and killed it to Hornet, which I shouldn't have done because Hornet was a new call. They're both based off the Y. It was too confusing for the players, and we give up a play. This is on me. This is when you're doing too much.
right.
You know, this is just too much.
Can you talk to me?
Again,
I'm sorry, Coach. Go ahead.
no, that's it.
Talk to me about the Oscar call. What could you give me a quick explanation of that?
Yeah, Oscar is in fire zones, and it's for two open guys or three open guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes basically either, and we would use it called two different ways. We could use it in Oscar in base calls to get like the jack out of coverage. He might be the wall flat guy in a slot formation. You make, hey, Oscar right. Now the jack knows he's a hook player. Or you could use it in Trey, and it's a slot check.
We got a question in the chat. In your opinion, what constitutes too much when they start screwing up a lot? That's my answer. Coach, what's your answer?
Yeah. No, that's it. That's it. You know, when you can tell, you know, and most time I always felt like we've done a really nice job figuring it out throughout the week. But obviously too many kills. Twice I know in this game there's been errors by kills. So just shouldn't put that on them.
Yeah, because you got this, and this. It almost turns into your cat blitz.
Yeah.
Now, do you think at all? I know what Minka's injury did to you in the third down world, but what did his injury do to you in game planning the rest of the down distances, if what you can remember?
You know what? We didn't all the things he was familiar with, you know, third down when he had to go play money was a different world for him. So you always make sure that he got reps on it.
But everything else stayed the same. I mean, you didn't really factor his injury in on first and second down.
No.
Like, oh, we can't do this.
No, we didn't. We could do a lot with all those guys.
So here's Hornet again, same play. It looks like they're just running zone cut and just saying screw it. We get the same issue. We get 94 out here and going in here. And Ty, as we watch this, to answer your question, you know, everybody wants a fixed number. You know, I've told this story a million times. When I was at Sarah, we saw 10 different offenses in our first 10 games. We had to have different stuff. You can't defend Tony Franklin and split back veer the same way. And so it's, you know, you got to balance out what your kids can handle. All right, we got heads 11, invert. You got lock coverage here. I do not know what that means, Coach.
What'd you say?
Lock coverage? Lock.
Yeah, so I think corner's over. We played it. We didn't put a trade tag with it.
Ah, okay.
So we're saying the corner's coming over, and we're going to play.
That's your weak safety coming down?
Yep.
Now, was this because they were kind of playing FU ball right now? You said, hey, we're not going to get fancy. Lock the corner on the corner, bring the safety down, let's go.
Yeah, I mean it's I think it's 20-10 right now. They're committed to running the football, so if we can't stop them in this call, we probably ain't going to stop them.
All right, here's an answer to my question, Coach. I talked about this earlier. If the center climbs, you fall back. If the center stays on the 2, go hit it fast. It looks like this answers my question. I mean, he sits and then he's gone.
Yeah.
They actually block him, and always love this. Get a little assist. Get a little assisted tackle by the right guard. Thank you. He was like, God damn it. Or the center. I'm sorry, not the right guard. The center. All right. They got you. They run 4 zone cuts in a row. Now they line up in a bunch of goofy shit. They get you into 1 invert, and they run in reverse. They hit you earlier a little bit. Or no, wrong play. I'm sorry. This is a sack. Switch, double 9 switch X under. So you're going to have him going here, him going here. Bang, right there. And you're playing, it looks like you're playing lock and level here.
Yeah, lock and level. Yeah,
Because
this is cover 1. Right. This is
technically, if this was traffic or whatever, you would have it where he would end up taking this and he would take this switch route, correct?
right.
Did you
But
play
we're
that? That was
locking
only
this.
in 5-man pressure. That wasn't in cover 1, was it?
Well, we played lock and level in cover 1, but based off the patterns, you can play traffic
Okay.
if you wanted to. Yeah, I mean, so they were looking for split safety here.
Interesting. Watch the pass rush. 99 gets a little bit of redemption here.
Hey, he had that interception. That's pretty.
Oh, that's
nice
right.
rush.
He does have the interception, so he's up. It looks like you go corner over again.
Yeah.
You leave 15 on the backside. Harrison, I got his name right this time.
Yeah.
That play really turned the tide too. Now you get the ball, you kick a field goal. Now it's a 1-score ball game. They come out and they run some tractor. I like their Wildcat design, to be honest with you. You know, he's up there and then bang, they're snapping into it. He's getting set, and they could actually snap the ball much sooner. Now you guys check to heads. So it says heads. Now I wonder if you check the heads based on the Wildcat. No, you didn't actually get the heads.
So what we're doing is we're bringing the money. We're going to a 5-man rush, and on the motion, 15 should track the tight end. Remember, because we're playing hot coverage, because it's Wildcat. Everything in Wildcat in this game, we went to a 5-man pressure, whether we were in 4 down or odd, and played blitz coverage.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, because the call is 6 bump Pinto.
Yeah.
You guys go down.
This was our Wildcat check.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now you've cut that stuff off. So now you've stifled zone cut. You've stifled the Wildcat stuff. Hasn't done much. Okay, this answers my question. Now we got 11 invert. The bunch is tight. You're playing traffic. And here's the reverse. So if you're being picky, Mac's got to turn this back inside, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're missing one on the guy coming over the top, right?
Ooh, was that 15 yards?
No, they didn't do it.
Okay, good. They try to come back to Wildcat. You got scissors with a hot. So it goes from fire zone 3 to 0.
Yep, to hot.
To hot, I'm sorry. Where you got, it's 3-on-2 funnel. The Y swipes back. Oh, you almost get, well, let me see the end zone here. Oh, no, Mac's there. I thought Mac was over here, too. I was like, oh, shit, if this ball would hit front side. Oh, he did go back. Oh, my God. Oh, boy. If 94, well, no, 49 gets in there, too. If 94 doesn't, God. If he stays here and he makes him miss, it's 88 and out the gate. Yeah? No?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I always underestimate my own players' abilities when I watch film. Like they can't move or do anything. So I just assume bad shit's gonna happen. We're 1 inch off. It's a touchdown. No matter what, it's a touchdown. All right, we got FIB heads 11 invert.
Was that third down? What is this?
I'm sorry, that was 3rd and 2. So they get 1 yard and they punt. So that was 8:34. Now it's down to 3:44. So it's tied.
Gotcha. Here's their play that they ran to start the game.
Cayman.
Mm-hmm.
Great coverage here. The cover one, you guys are so good at playing out cover one. And those receivers are physical. I mean, they were pushing off. They were getting some separation. They got hit by some drops early on as well, but that's some damn good coverage. Who's supposed to take this tight end? Is the safety coming down?
Yeah.
Let me get to the wide shot.
So they spun it there. So we usually
Did you push this with the back here?
I'm sure they said funnel is what they said.
Oh, yeah. Funnel, sorry.
Yeah, because Y was off. It's kind of an unusual deal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That way they wouldn't run it on top of each other.
All right, so we got flex 2nd and 10, 11 personnel, flex 6-bump Pinto, check laser. I believe this is the last play before the end, or maybe it's the next play before we go to overtime. You got bail. They throw the chop into the boundary, get the first.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Towards the end of the game, you stopped calling Huskers and you just went straight to 6. So you got all the other parts of Huskers, the Pinto, check laser, but you got out of calling the 7 bracket part. Do you remember why that was? Was it the run stuff?
Just to get tighter coverage. We obviously played a lot more cover 1 the second half. Score dictating, just getting tighter coverage.
They got a good look at this right here. Backers out leverage to the field. You got 3-by-1 in the boundary. Oh shit! Oh no, okay, they are covering. I didn't see that guy at first, but he overthrows it, and now they got a punt. I saw him line up, and I went, "Oh shit!" I remember watching this play. I remember being like, "Bump out." Oh, that's misery right there. All right, overtime. 3 plays left. Okay, 6-bump cop, kill 7 brackets. So now you actually killed a 7. It's 21 personnel, so interesting. You got bunch train into the boundary with the F. Where's the F at? It says F wider. Maybe this is the wrong. This must be wrong because that's Swift.
No, that's right. We were rotating to 6, and they killed. The players killed. So it's a nice play by the linebacker there. See,
you kill it from the sideline?
Yeah. See, right there. They killed right there.
Bingo. What did you think they were killing to? They think they were killing to a pass?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right, 2 more plays. We got green personnel, 22 personnel. The call is Stab Idaho, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, the base version of scissors.
Yeah, tight rush 90.
They actually flex out the tight end and bring him back in. They try to run truck toss. I remember this play. I remember watching this play live.
Yeah,
I remember thinking, because you told me the story when we talked earlier today about Minka, and I went, wow, that's a lot. I mean, I know Minka's good, but damn, that's crazy. Well, here's why. Here's the guy that wasn't able to, you said damn near walk, right, or something, up until right before the game, and then watch this on one of the biggest plays of the game. Isn't that him? Hope I get this right after all this.
Yeah,
Bends back, that's that edge. How sudden he is. Oh, shit. All right, last play. Actually, next to last play. All right, 3rd and 6. I ask this question all the time, and I know it's a little different than the pod question, but it's 3rd and 6, 21-yard line. I'm going to ask you the question I always give journalists shit asking in situations like this. What's going through your head right here? Odd stem games 5 match, 3rd and 6, national championship is literally on the line. What's going through your head right here as you make this call?
Really, it's kind of if you think about all the third downs, they've had the Y in the core. They've 7-man protected. They've thrown the football really in the second half, right?
Mm-hmm.
First half, they ran the football. Well, all of our calls, if we called pressure, we were having to put a check with it for the Charlie protection, right? You
Mm-hmm.
call this call, it's built in. There's no checks. This is an alley-oop for the players. It plays against everything. Cover 5.
What's the
Can't
match
get us.
call on 5 match?
Say it again.
It says 5 match. What's the match call mean?
Yeah, we're just matching up.
Is it because it looks like it's one high?
Yeah, no, it's not.
No, I'm saying pre-snap. I didn't know if that meant to show one high.
Oh no.
Because this is the exact look when you guys ran. So first third down. Here's what's interesting, and I know that that's not Minka, but first third down. This is the exact look you played when you brought Abel A.
Yeah,
looks exactly the same. And if you watch the back. So Minka's covering, so he's looking right over there.
Yeah. It's the same stuff. It's just a 5-man rush.
Literally the exact same look. Oh, match must mean you're matching the back.
Yes, and that's right. For this game, it was matching the back. That's right.
You get a Ned here. I can't. Yeah.
Ned left. Ned away from the back.
Woo! Now, Coach. Oh, shit. I know that we're here, and I know that we're here to watch your defense. But I can't do a breakdown of this game. I can't possibly do a breakdown of this game without watching this play. I hope Schumann's not watching. My huddle's freezing up, so I'm stalling. Can you tell I've never worked in television? I'm just like staring at the computer with a dumb look on my face. All right. So now you get the stop. Guys come off the field. They get the field goal? Or no? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was like a 58-yarder.
And they hit it. You come up, 1st and 10. Tua takes the sack. It's 2nd and 26.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're still talking to the defense at this point because it's the first play. Okay, so now we're going to switch over. I'm sorry, Glenn, if you're watching. I had to, Coach. All right, so now I'm going to do the Georgia defense. 1st and 10. Gun empty train, wide off. Weak stack are outside. They go Mint Jackson. So they're bringing the jack no matter what, playing cover 8, quarter, half. Plays out a stud Kathy. So it's match, palms to the boundary, soft 2 deep to the boundary, palms to the field. They hit the screen and go. Pretty interesting call. Nobody's open. Tua tries to make a play. Holy shit. Oh my God. The ball comes out. Misery. Possibly you're looking at a 57, 58-yard field goal. You guys don't have Blankenship. You have a great kicker, but you don't got that guy. Here's the call. Trano, Seattle, R-Burst versus Nickel Mint Jackson Rodeo. I wish we had the guy that does the Alabama game voiceover on this. Coach me up on this guy right here. Should he be deeper?
Man, this is the first time I've really watched this on tape.
Really? Oh, I'm fired up. Okay. So, yeah, the call is Trano, Gunfire Trano, Seattle R-Burst. So it's 4 verts with the back running a burst route. They're in Mint Jackson. So quarter, half. Jack automatically activated. This is a tough down because this guy's kind of screwed. Yeah. If you ever wonder why guys overdrop 3 and cover 3, it's because of this. because he starts to go outside and then bends it inside, and he widens him out or brings him back inside. There you go. Championship.
Hmm.
All right. What are you thinking as you're watching that? You work your ass off that year. Your second year coordinating in Alabama. That play happens. You're on the sideline during the game, right?
Yeah.
Just pandemonium. Just what's the first thing you do? Who's the first person you hugged?
Well, no, I didn't hug nobody. I'm sitting here talking to the players and the games going on behind
Oh,
me,
you didn't see it.
and they all just run. They're sitting on the benches. They just run over me and run out on the field.
Were you like,
So
what's going? Like me, where you're like, does that happen to you one time? I'm like,
no,
everybody sit down, and somebody turned around and was like, we just won. I was like, oh shit, sorry.
no, that was different. I mean, when they took off running there, you wasn't getting them back. So now I tell you what, I hate it for that. That was such a great game going both ways. I
Yes.
mean, you hate for somebody to lose that game, and a lot of those guys on the defense there, that last play, I actually coached for a couple of years, and they had great careers, and you hated for it to end that way.
Yeah. I know I was torn because I knew people on both sides, and I was like Rob Lowe. If you've seen that meme, Rob Lowe with the NFL hat. I just wanted a good game, and that was that the first overtime championship game.
I don't know. Now tell
No,
the truth.
Miami, Ohio State. No, well, that was the BCS.
You didn't have on your red and black.
Oh no, no. I at this time, well, I hadn't gone to either school yet.
Oh, okay.
So I knew Glenn was there, but Glenn and I lost touch for a while. And it wasn't until after this year, basically what happened was Gary Patterson, I was supposed to go to TCU. He canceled everybody's visit. Somebody like filmed a drill at practice on their phone. He loses his mind, cancels everybody trip. And I'm like, well, I need to go somewhere and learn. And Chris King from St. John Bosco, I wanted to come back to Florida. He's like, dude, why don't you just meet us in Georgia? Go home, see your family, then just meet us and we'll go to the Georgia clinic. And it shows you how much I know because I was like, oh, I think my buddy's a GA there with Schumann. He's the linebackers coach. And then we went and saw you, our first visit.
Right.
And then I came back solo during the summer. I went and visited Tosh and visited you. And then we came back all time. We talk about on the podcast. Easter week, everybody's on the road except for Coach Pruitt. And you were bored out of your mind. You were going stir crazy. Nobody was there to hang out. And so you had spent, I think, a total of like 10 hours with us. It was just me, Chris King, and Kyle Kogan at different times. And it was, I mean, amazing visit. Like when you get back into it and you got your own place again, you guys need to go visit Coach Pruitt because you want to talk about hospitality. Just promise me if you go back as a DC, you hook up with a guy who's not super secretive. That's like nobody could come in because my favorite visits was come and hang out with you.
Oh me, hey, I learned as much from you as you did from me. I guarantee you.
Stop that shit.
I want to come down there and sit down and visit with you. I want to see this setup you got.
Yeah, I had to turn the camera because I got a new computer, so everybody's used to getting the board.
What did you just move into Gruden's place down there?
What's that?
Didn't Gruden used to have a place down there?
He did. That was in Tampa. No, so when I moved back home, my office was set up in like the living room, and my girlfriend was like, "Why don't you make the office the actual living room?" So we took outdoor patio. You can see him in the shot. We took outdoor patio doors and we turned the handle so they open in because every patio door ever opens out. So they open in, and then this is literally where I'm sitting right now. That used to be where I watched TV as a kid. That was the TV. So I'm like, talk about life coming full circle. Anytime. Schmedding's going to come hang out next month. I'm trying to get Jim and Bobby April to come down. Anytime you're in Orlando. Well, you were just here, but you were on daddy daycare duty. You were at Disney.
I'm on that full time right now.
Yeah.
It's the best job I've ever had.
Are you saying that because they can hear you right now?
No, it's the truth. It's the truth.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Hey, before we go, who's going to be the first pick of the draft?
Oh, I'm the worst to ask at this. I don't follow that
Hey,
shit at all.
I'm checking you on these names.
Oh shit. Well, there's 97 from no Hutchinson. If I had gun to my head, I think it's going to be Thibodeau. I don't necessarily think that's who it should be, or it shouldn't be. I think that's who they'll take. Who do you think? Who do you think's going to go first?
I don't know. I'm thinking the two players, and like I know the SEC players better than I know the other players, right? And there's good
Yeah.
players everywhere, but Evan Neal's pretty good.
I know that the Jaguars took a tackle last year,
Yeah, pretty good.
but if I got Trevor Lawrence, who's a damn good player, I don't know, man. Put two bookend tackles, and if you can keep them upright, I don't know. Here's my thing: you can manufacture a pass rush. What you guys did at the Giants, Belichick and those guys, the Ravens. You don't need an all-world edge guy to get pressure at that level. You can bring. I mean, look at what Hightower's done at the Patriots. You can't manufacture a left tackle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And I'm a defensive guy, but
So you don't watch any of these NFL
I
guys
don't give a
like
shit,
coming
man.
out draft. You're just
I
doing all
couldn't.
scheme.
And it's bad because if I wanted to do like more real media stuff, I would need to know all that stuff. But I'm too much of like I want to study what I want to study, so I don't. I make fun of the draft half the time. I just to get so ate up about a guy that's probably not going to play for you this year, and to get this obsessed over it. It's insane, especially the last couple of years with COVID, where everybody was inside and they had nothing to do. And last year, when there was those three quarterbacks, there was a lot more hype. I feel like this year, you tell me, do you feel that there's not been as much hype with the draft because of the lack of top tier quarterback?
No, I think the draft is it. If you're involved in something with one of the teams,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a big deal, right? It's your lifeblood, you know. So I don't know. It's not been as big a deal this year for me because I'm not associated with the team, right? But
Right. How much did you put in? And I know it was your first year at the Giants, but when did you get that job at the Giants? Because I know it wasn't hush hush or anything, but it was kind of there was no like big announcement or anything. When did you actually get hired by the Giants?
no, in February.
So how much
Yeah.
time did you spend on the draft?
Um, I, you know, um, at that time, I don't know how it is now with uh, new GM
Oh, that's right. They got a whole new crew.
yeah, head coach. I was really just learning. I hadn't ever been in uh, the NFL before, so I just did whatever they asked me to do.
Yeah. To answer the question of the guy in the chat, Holman, Schmedding may come on the podcast, but I meant he's coming to my house. He's either coming to my house or I'm going there. We have to figure it out, but we're going to go hang out at some point. It's weird, Coach. Like, and you guys were always really cool about this. And by the way, did you know Niedermeyer had his baby today?
Yeah, I saw pictures.
He sent me a picture. At first, I was like, "What?" And the picture didn't come through. So what the hell is he talking about? But like, I was talking about this with Niedermeyer. It was weird because like I would go see you guys, and then Georgia, and then there was a trip where I saw Bama and Tennessee, and having to keep all this stuff where people aren't pissed that like, or I'm gonna go tell somebody something, and like I talked to Schmedding, and the first time I talked to him, I was like, "Listen, man, I've been to Bama like 4 times. I know all those guys, but like." I'm not going to tell them anything, and I'm not going to tell you anything because it's weird, like, especially because I may go on the same trip. I may go up to Bama and then go see him. But it's kind of a weird spot to be in. But in all seriousness, visiting, seeing Coach Pruitt. If you go to the NFL, nobody will ever let anybody in. But if you go back to college, I'm telling you guys right now, pound for pound, going to a place, getting treated like gold, getting FaceTime with the coaches, and getting real. I mean, you told us some things behind those doors, you were so open and honest with us and just so cool about it. I mean, who else does something like this? Who else comes on here and watches the national championship game and goes through every call and be like, yeah, that's that signal. That's this. That's that. I mean, nobody else is doing this. Like Coach Pruitt
That's because I'm the only one that ain't got a job.
that's bullshit because last year there's been coaches where they didn't have jobs either and they still wouldn't do it.
Uh,
But you'll be back and I'll be bothering the shit out of you and that'll hey, Coach, when can I come? When can I come hang out? I'm just like, but Coach, thanks so much for joining me. I already got requests to do the FSU Auburn game, so I'll bother you in like a month or two. Try to get that during the summer.
if you can get those calls, good luck on that.
I got them. I already got them.
You need to send them to me. I need them.
All right. Well, I know who else has them. I think I have them.
Bert.
No, Bert didn't give them to me. I think you can figure out who did. Just had a baby. He didn't give a shit. He gave whatever. But yeah, I got what you need. It was funny because somebody got another job. And I joked around with them because I get everything. People just give me stuff because I help them and whatever. And there was a coach who I jokingly told, hey, if you ever go somewhere else and you need your shit, call me. And they went, ha, ha, ha. And then it happened. And then they called me and I had to give them stuff that was theirs. Because people just send stuff. It's awesome. It's one of the cool parts about doing this is people just, they want to like thank you or contribute or whatever. And I'll wake up and people are like, hey, do you want this NFL playbook that was the players don't even have yet? And I'll be like, what? Like, yeah, sure. So anyway, I won't keep you anymore. I've already kept you for almost 3 hours. Coach, this is the most fun I've had in a long time.
All right. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
See you, man.
Good night, everybody.